स्टूडेंट्स लिसन टू मी केयरफुली। ये क्लास आप लोग बहुत टाइम से मांग रहे थे, तो बेसिकली दिस इज अ कॉम्बो ऑफ एनालिटिकल रीजनिंग एंड क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग। मैंने एक साथ डाल दी है ताकि टाइम वैसे बहुत कम है क्योंकि कल पेपर है बच्चों। तो इस क्लास में लगभग 4-4.5 घंटे की क्लास होगी। पहले के जो 2 घंटे हैं अप्रॉक्स वो क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग की क्लास के हैं, स्ट्रिक्टली ऑन द एलेट लाइक पैटर्न। और जो दूसरा पार्ट है जो इसी में ही जोड़ दिया है वो एनालिटिकल रीजनिंग का पार्ट है। ठीक है, तो तुम लोग देख सकते हो, जिसको जिस पार्ट में प्रॉब्लम हो स्किप करके वहां भी जा सकता है। अगर दोनों में ही है तो पूरी वीडियो को देख लो, तुम्हारे काफी कॉन्सेप्ट्स क्लियर हो जाएंगे। दोनों ही बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हैं लॉजिकल रीजनिंग सेगमेंट में फॉर एलेट पेपर। ठीक है, सो ऑल द बेस्ट बच्चों। और कोई अगर तुम्हें कोई कंफ्यूजन है या कुछ भी है तो तुम कमेंट सेक्शन में नीचे डाल देना। मैं उसका क्वेरी आई विल आंसर द क्वेरी बिफोर योर एग्जाम, डोंट वरी अबाउट इट, एंड जस्ट गो थ्रू द क्लास। ओके, ऑल द बेस्ट।
Okay, so first let's pick up statement conclusion and statement assumption. First of all, what is statement? It's your premise, okay? It's your evidence that is given to you in the sentence, out of which they give you 2 conclusions or 2 assumptions and then ask you which one follows. So what is a conclusion? Conclusion is what can be explicitly or implicitly derived from the given statement. That is a conclusion, right? Conclusion is the final step when we are making an argument. So you will be given a one-line statement and you need to draw logical conclusions based on the given statement. Now, when it comes to verbal reasoning, it is harder to find the right answer. So we get rid of the wrong answers first, and that gets us closer to the right answer. Okay, it will make sense once we start solving, but it's usually difficult, especially we get stuck between 2 options or 3 options. So it is always best to eliminate options and get rid of the bad ones. But what exactly are bad options in conclusion question? Let's look at them. First of all, conclusion has to be logically backed by data. Conclusion और assumption में फर्क ही यही है कि assumption शायद verify ना किया जा सके, but conclusion verify किया जा सकता है from the given data. So conclusion is 100% true. Okay, so Ram is the only son of Suresh and Meena. Here 2 conclusions are given. Suresh and Meena have one son. Ram has one
नंबर
son.
1 ही करेक्ट होगा बस।
Now I have to pick something that is logically accurate. मैंने कहा जीके नहीं लगा सकते, अपनी सब्जेक्टिविटी नहीं लगा सकते कि भाई सुरेश एंड मीना इंडियन पेरेंट्स हैं, एक बच्चा कैसे कर सकते हैं? चाइना थोड़ी है, एक से ज्यादा ही किया होगा, हो सकता है। एलआर में ये सब नहीं चलता. We've just seen this, okay? Definite results are required. So we know for sure if they have only son, that means they have minimum one son. So Suresh and Meena have one son. Do they have a sister? Cannot be determined. So conclusion 2 does not follow. Yes, Arna, you raised your hand.
Ma'am, this is what I wanted to ask, that there's no mention that they have a sister. So how do we go about it? If it's not if it's not conclusive, we just eliminate it in the first instance.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That is, conclusion has to be backed by the given evidence. You as a lawyer will make strong arguments, strong judgments. If you're defending somebody, prosecuting somebody, if you're, making allegations, you need to have proper evidence to make proper conclusion. Otherwise, you will lose your credibility as a lawyer. If you're making such arguments, you're definitely losing credibility because there is no logical backing of this data. So I will have to get rid of this. So I will obviously stick to whatever is given to me. I cannot go out of scope. So even this scope thing, you have, studied this during CLAT, okay? Sticking to the scope, not going out of the scope of the given data. Look at another example. That was very easy. Look at this one. The panel has decided to only admit students who have a minimum 95% score throughout their graduation, despite the fact that 95% is an extremely rare score to achieve in this field. Which out of the 2 conclusion follows? Okay, only one, only 2, both, or neither? Put your answers in the chat. Very few students will be able to get admission. The panel only wants exceptionally high performing students in this field. Both are logical.
Ma'am, both are logical. Yes.
How can you conclude that very few students will be able to get admission here?
Ma'am, because
Ma'am,
it's said that 95 is an extremely rare
95% is
score.
extremely rare, ma'am.
Absolutely.
And it's a fact. और ये पैनल wants exceptionally high performing
ये कैसे
students
होगा?
Because ma'am,
क्योंकि मैम when
criteria is
extremely
95%
rare,
score and it is very rare, like
Hmm.
extremely rare to achieve. That is why exceptionally high.
हाँ मैम, exactly.
Same line of reference, same evidence will prove that both follow. Right? So it's not really new if you have already given CLAT. I don't know if I have any students who's only going to be giving AILET and hasn't given CLAT. Then it's a whole different picture. But people who have already given CLAT, you've done this. Now the only difference is the questions are going to be difficult. Okay, the options are going to be closer. Okay, now in this exam, AILET, inference, and conclusion are the same. Okay, conclusion by nature can sometimes be explicit. But as soon as conclusion becomes implicit, implicit मतलब hidden, explicit मतलब दिख रहा है, सामने दिख रहा है. जैसे ये conclusion explicit है कि सुरेश और मीना का एक सन है, वो ऑलरेडी दिख रहा है मेरे को सवाल में. मैंने ज्यादा दिमाग नहीं लगाया. इन्फरेंस क्या होता है? वो जो शर्लॉक होम्स करता है, एकदम देख के बता देता है आप कहाँ से आए हो, देख के एकदम बता देता है कि मर्डर किसने किया. That's inference. Inference is nothing but hidden conclusion. It's not directly given.
तो दिल्ली से ज्यादा अपॉर्चुनिटी मेरे को कहीं पे भी नहीं मिलेगी, और अगर फिर भी मिल भी जाएगी ना तो बात रहती.
Okay, it is not explicitly stated. It is a logical deduction based on the given statement. Again, it has to be 100% true. Now here, there is a most probably, there's a chance that comes in, but it has to be true given the scope of the data. This is not required. Now I'll tell you what you are not supposed to go for, what is to be eliminated. Okay, eliminate overgeneralization, also called as extreme judgments. Some students fail the exam. All students fail the exam is incorrect. So words like all, only, every, always, rarely ये आंसर होगा. ठीक है, rarely this type of options are your answers. So whenever you see an option like this, को पहले ही star mark लगा दो. ठीक है, none, no one, nobody, all of these options. Then correct inference, if it is some students, then your option should also reflect some. Then personal interpretation. Look at this. John goes to the gym regularly. Now you can't infer that John wants to become a bodybuilder. We know that he goes to gym regularly. Now multiple inferences can be made. One, he's health conscious. Second, he might work there. Right? So inferences could be multiple, but we have to stick to the one that can be logically backed. Now working there cannot really be backed because there's not enough data, but the fact that he's going to gym regularly can be closer to him being health conscious or being very careful of his health. Hence, he's going to the gym regularly. Then unstated cause and effect, trying to draw connection between two things even when they are not related. The city introduced a new metro system and pollution levels dropped. So the metro system is the only reason for reduced pollution. So this is also extreme. So these are the things that are not inferences, that are not conclusions. More than learning what are conclusions, you should focus on what is not, so you can eliminate options, because the options otherwise are all going to look the same. We'll take a couple of examples. The increasing use of smartphones is affecting people's social interaction. Because of this, this is being affected. So what to inferences, or one of the two inferences can be made. Smartphones reduce face-to-face conversation. People should stop using smartphones. इसके कारण ये हो रहा है, अफेक्ट हो रहा है, ठीक है, बिकॉज ऑफ दैट social interactions are being affected. So this one can be made because this is related to social interactions. But people should stop using them. Can we make this? Can this be an appropriate conclusion of the given statement?
No.
Why not? Why
Um,
not?
मैम बिकॉज मैम यहाँ पे जो premise या स्टेटमेंट दिया वो उसमें सिर्फ हमारा सोशल इंटरेक्शन की बात कर रहा है कि इंक्रीजिंग यूज मतलब उससे सोशल इंटरेक्शन का मैम वहाँ उसमें तो कुछ कनेक्शन ही नहीं बैठ रहा वैसे भी कि लोगों को
Also,
फोन
ma'am, the fact is here it has been used a very extreme opinion. So
It
please
is
should stop.
Yes, it is an opinion. It is a solution. It is a solution to the problem. It is my personal judgment. In the given premise, there is no judgment. People should stop using it. People should reduce using, or they should use it, in the right amount. ऐसा कुछ नहीं दिया है. ये दूसरा टाइप का सवाल है. Course of action. Course of
It's like
action.
problem and a solution. It's not aligning with the problem itself, but then the second one is a solution to it.
Exactly. And we're not looking for it. This is not a course of action question. So hence this is not a valid inference, even though it is related, but this cannot be determined that the author is trying to conclude this. The price of petrol has risen by 20% in the last 3 months. Now, which of the two can be concluded? Fuel prices have been unstable recently. People will stop using petrol-based vehicles. Now, this can be concluded, but the fact that they will stop using vehicles altogether is also not only extreme, but also cannot be determined because there's only a 20% rise. So yeah, it is rather an extreme option rather than cannot be determined. So easily eliminated. Okay, now let me take up assumption also, given that I am doing this. First of all, conclusion was something that was derived from the given data. ये पढ़ के मैंने ये निकाला. But assumption premise से पहले लगता है. जो आपको यहाँ दिया जाएगा वो conclusion दिया जाएगा और फिर ऑप्शन में आपको assumptions दिए जाएंगे. Assumptions conclusion के आगे लगते हैं. अगर मुझे इसे chronologically अगर if I had to put it, statement, which is this, or you can write evidence or premise plus assumption is equals to conclusion. This is how the chronology works. So assumption actually precedes conclusion. For example, okay, I think I've taken this example before. There are two people in front of you. One is wearing glasses. The other person is not wearing any glasses. So you conclude, therefore, person with glasses, spectacles, is smarter than the person who's not wearing spectacles. That is your conclusion. And the data of one person wearing and one person not wearing is a statement. Now, assumption by nature is hidden. Assumption का definition ही यही होता है कि it is such a obvious detail, इतना चिंदी detail होता है कि बोलने वाला अपने दिमाग में ही रखता है क्योंकि उसे पता है सामने वाला समझ जाएगा. इधर भी while making a conclusion, I have left a premise unstated because it's so obvious. I know the reader will understand it. And what is that assumption? People who wear glasses generally are smarter than people who don't. Therefore, the person A is smarter than person B. See, my assumption led me to conclusion. So you can always try to attack your assumption. To check your answer, attack your assumption. If your conclusion falls apart, your assumption is absolutely right. So, if people generally who wear glasses are not actually smarter than people who don't, then I can never conclude that person A with glasses is smarter than person B, because my evidence is wrong. My assumption is absolutely wrong. Okay, so this chronology is to be remembered. Yeah. It is a statement taken as true without proof. Now, given that it is already hidden, we cannot be 100% sure of this. Unlike conclusion, that has to be drawn from premise and is 100% true. It is derived from reasoning and it is given before reasoning. पहले लगता है. This is often unverified. This is based on proper evidence and logical reasoning. Now, this is a very probable statement. The weather will be good tomorrow without enough evidence. But conclusion is always made with proper evidence. Since the weather forecast predicts sunshine, it will be a good day for picnic. This data led to a very strong conclusion. So assumption is usually unverified, hard to make definite, whereas conclusion is almost always definite. Let us look at some examples. First, definition. An assumption is an unstated fact or belief. Unstated, therefore, by definition, is hidden. That must be true for the statement to hold valid meaning. Now, why you as lawyers are learning about assumption and conclusion? A lot of assumption will be made by your opponent. Okay, when it comes to just normal debate or dialogue, or even in proper cases, you know, there's certain assumptions that they would be making deliberately, or, you know, kabhi aise subconscious assumptions, which you can attack to make your case stronger. So that is called reading between the lines, where you're trying to find flaw in assumptions or flaw in reasoning. That is also a topic that you might have done in during your prep in CLAT. Flaws in reasoning. Flaws are usually found in assumption. Oh, this guy is doing hasty generalization. This guy is connecting wrong cause to the wrong effect. So that is why you as lawyers are doing this, and that is why this is usually enjoyed by students who are pursuing this discipline. Now, what is not an assumption? Same option elimination. Extreme options always, never, only, must. They must be eliminated. Something that is unstated, something that is not in the scope. For example, right now I was talking about people with glasses and without glasses. Now, it specifically talks about a specific gender, or it's talking about a specific group of people from a specific country or a state. Now, that's narrowing or broadening the scope and also distorting the original argument. So you can eliminate options like that. Then confusing facts with assumption. Assumption by definition has to be hidden. अगर आपको कोई ऑप्शन में डायरेक्ट explicit piece of information उठा के दे दिया है, that is not your answer. By definition, assumption is hidden. By definition, inference is hidden. Conclusion can be explicit. Remember, even through that, you can eliminate options. Assumption, inference, implicit. Conclusions can be explicit. Okay, let's look at some examples for assumptions. The city should build more parks to improve public health. ये statement मैंने बहुत ही confidence से बनाया है. ये मेरा conclusion है. अभी इन दोनों statements में से क्या मेरे दिमाग में रहा होगा जब मैंने ये बनाया होगा? More parks for better public health. Therefore, more parks will benefit public health. I would have thought there's a connection between the two. Hence, I have made this. To check your answer, negate it. More parks will not benefit public health. Therefore, the conclusion will also fall apart. The city, therefore, should not build more parks to improve public health. There are no parks in the city. Well, this cannot be determined. Nothing about number of parks is mentioned. Online payments should be encouraged to reduce cash transactions. Online payments are safer. No, nothing about this is given. They are preferred. Maybe they're convenient, right? Maybe they don't have the option. Maybe it is done during the time of demonetization where they actually have no cash in hands. So they are encouraging online payments. So safety is or cannot be 100% concluded. Cash transactions need to be reduced. अगर कह रहे हैं कि भाई एनकरेज करना है तो इसलिए कह रहे हैं ताकि इसे कम करना चाह रहे हैं ना. अगर इसे बढ़ाना चाह रहे हैं तो इसे कम करना चाह रहे होंगे. So this one can be made. Okay. Assumption and conclusion. Clear? Give me a
Yes.
thumbs up. We'll be doing questions, huh? We'll be doing good number of questions at the end of it. People who are doing for the first time, please interrupt. Let me know. I will take up more examples if it's unclear. I'll move to the next topic. Let me take up strengthen and weaken. And this is also a common one. Strengthen and weaken comes in AILET. How to approach strengthen and weaken. People who've given CLAT are very familiar with the approach. तब आप लोग को पूरा पैसेज में कंसिडर करके स्ट्रेंथ एंड वीकन करना है. इधर it's a very tiny, it's an excerpt from a passage, so it's not going to be as challenging because the 4 options that they would give you could relate to any line of the 500-word passage. But here वो 4-5 लाइन जितना ही स्कोप रहेगा आपका, so it's not going to be as difficult. How to approach it? Read the argument and identify the premise and the conclusion. Same. Okay, now here you are supposed to attack the conclusion. See, the questions का नाम ही यही है. Weaken the conclusion. Strengthen the conclusion. So your step 1 is going to be find the conclusion and then attack it. Okay, you can, for weaken, you can undermine the conclusion. For strengthen, you have to provide additional support. Now, here, unlike assumption and conclusion questions where you have to consider the scope of the argument, कि भाई मैं इसके बाहर नहीं जा सकती. अगर एग्जाम्पल पुणे का दिया है तो मैं पुणे से बाहर नहीं जा सकती. इंडिया का दिया है तो मैं यूएसए नहीं ले सकती. यहाँ पे ले सकते हैं, यहाँ पे लेना ही पड़ेगा. So here scope is not really an option elimination technique. All the 4 options will be hypothetical and all unrelated to the given argument. You just have to check the consequence of the given option. As a consequence, is it providing support? As a consequence, is it attacking my conclusion? So you just have to check the long-term result of the given option. So here you can't say ki it is not given in the passage, it is out of scope. By definition, it's going to be out of scope. So select an answer choice that will expose the logical gaps and create a flaw, making the conclusion less likely to be true. In weaken and strengthen, it will make the conclusion more likely to be true. Now there are going to be statements. Obviously, you have to be good at language. So you have to understand the language of the option and then check what is the logical impact of the given option. Now, what type of options you're supposed to eliminate? This is a common one. आपको strengthen करने को कहा है और 2-3 options में सीधा सीधा weaken कर रहा है, तो हटाओ. क्यों? क्योंकि you will have a question framed as which of the following does not strengthen the argument. Someone has not read this not, so they are looking for options that are actually strengthening, and then they might fall in the trap. So these are clear trap for students who don't read their questions carefully. Eliminated, ऐसे सवाल, ऐसे options आएंगे ही. फिर irrelevant, not out of scope, but irrelevant to the given argument. That means they are not having any impact to the argument, not strengthening, not weakening, कुछ लेना देना ही नहीं है. And then again, the obvious one, extreme. Always, only, none. Get rid of that. I think I've done these questions I will take up some good questions of strengthen and weaken as well. Let me take up course of action, strong, weak arguments, and cause and effect quickly. Now, course of action is where you are an authority figure and you have to give a solution to the problem. तो आपको प्रॉब्लम दिया जाएगा और फिर आपको 2 से 3 सॉल्यूशंस ऑफर किए जाएंगे. आपको देखना है कि कौन सा वाला लॉजिकली एक्यूरेट है. First, you have to be clear of the problem that you have to solve. You have to check what is the goal to be achieved. Okay, what exactly am I trying to solve here? Am I trying to fix the roads or am I trying to get rid of the corrupt government? Then can this course of action be logically executed? Now it has to be logical and realistic, pragmatic. It cannot be unrealistic. Ma'am, I'm not scoring well in my mocks. 16 घंटे पढ़ो, 12 घंटे पढ़ो, 14 घंटे पढ़ो. These are unrealistic solutions to the problem. Sometimes you can be given illegal solutions to the problems. Okay, eliminate them. This is what your course of action should be. It should be logical. Of course, it should be relevant to the given problem. I mean, it's actually solving my problem at hand. It's not solving some different problem. Legal and ethical, not extreme. Now, this is something you're supposed to eliminate in all questions. Not your opinion. मुझे ऐसा लगता है, मैं होती ना तो मैं यही करती. क्या होना चाहिए, क्या logically objectively correct है. And this is very important. Please remember this. It should solve the entire problem, not half of it. Not 50%, not 60%, 100%. If the problem is lack of hotels and transportation facilities, then you can't pick an option that is only fixing hotels, that is only fixing transportation facilities. अगर दोनों अलग स्टेटमेंट में है, then you go for both A and B. अगर सिर्फ एक में ट्रांसपोर्टेशन है और नीचे कुछ भी नहीं है, then you can't go for either. Because A is only solving transportation. My hotel problem is not being solved. So the answer is neither. So this is the common trap when it comes to course of action. Tell me, what do you think is the appropriate course of action? Gautam has decided to appear for the management exam. He should start preparing for the exam. He should successfully attempt the exam. What is the solution? What is the next potential step of the given situation? Only A, only B, both, or neither? What do you guys think? Only A?
Both.
Both?
Ma'am, both.
Why both?
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
both.
ma'am, first he decided to appear in the management exam, so for that he have to prepare for the exam. And another thing, अगर वो exam पे है तो उसको exam successfully attempt करना पड़ेगा उसको पास करने के लिए. तो दोनों होगा.
मैम सिर्फ 1 होगा, ए होगा.
बी में क्या प्रॉब्लम?
मैम बी में प्रॉब्लम ये है कि उसने कहीं भी स्टेटमेंट में ये नहीं बोला कि उसे पास होना है, उसने सिर्फ अपियरिंग का बोला है. उसने ये नहीं बोला है कि तुम्हें पास ही होना है.
Ma'am, in that case, shouldn't B be the only answer? Because he decided to appear for the management exam. So for that, he has to successfully attempt the exam.
Correct. What does that mean? To successfully attempt an exam means? Successfully attempt, not successfully perform or outperform. Attempt मतलब उसको आना है, अपना रोल नंबर डालना है, अटेंडेंस मार्क करनी है और पेपर सबमिट करना है.
Ma'am,
That
actually दोनों होंगे ना, because both of them are the part of course of action which is leading you to the ultimate goal of appearing to the management exam. You can't eliminate B and then say you've appeared for the exam itself, ना. तो दोनों ही are the course of action.
Exactly. Now Gautam has decided to appear for the management exam. Now, if he's decided to appear for the exam, he obviously has to prepare for the exam. Why has he decided to appear for the exam, or why is he just randomly showing up to the center without preparation? That is going to give him no ROI. Obviously, he has to first prepare, and then एक साल गैप ईयर लेके प्रिपेयर किया, फिर फाइनल डे पे गए नहीं, तो क्या मतलब हुआ? तो प्रिपेयर भी करना है और फाइनल डे पे पेपर सबमिट भी करके आना है. So both of them are courses of action. Okay, I'll take up some good AILET level courses of action. Let me finish the theory. Cause and effect. Very easy. Cause, karan, effect, prabhav, result, consequence. You will be given two statements and you just have to determine which one's the cause and which one's the effect. Okay, out of the two statements, which one is the cause and which one is the effect?
Ma'am, B is the cause, A is the effect.
वेट लॉस के कारण हम इंक्रीज एक्सरसाइज करते हैं.
नहीं, A is the cause and B is the effect. हाँ.
एक्सरसाइज के कारण हमारा वेट लॉस होता है, तो पहले ए होगा फिर बी. तो ए की वजह से बी होता है. सो ए इज द कॉज, बी इज द इफेक्ट. इट्स वेरी इजी टू डिटरमाइन. नाउ कॉज एंड इफेक्ट इज वन ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस वेयर जीके is put to use, right? Some common knowledge is put to use. Here, unlike assumption, conclusion, where whatever premise is needed is given in the statements, in cause and effect, no, you have to use your GK. Okay, so this is where the questions could get difficult if the topic is too niche. If they have given you, for example, statement A, crude oil, CRUDE. Crude oil is expensive. Statement B, petrol and diesel are now expensive. How do you think they are related? Are they related causally, or they have no relationship whatsoever? Or they do have some relationship which is external. They have a common cause outside of the given causes or effects.
Now I
What
think
do you
it's all
think?
related to fossil fuels and पहले क्रूड ऑयल का प्राइस बढ़ता है तो उसका कॉज का इफेक्ट ये होता है कि डीजल और पेट्रोल का प्राइस बढ़ता है.
Why do you think crude oil और पेट्रोल और डीजल का रिलेशन या उनका खर्चा या एक्सपेंस रिलेटेड है?
I think it's I am not sure but it's I think related to fossil fuels यहाँ
मैम
पे.
क्योंकि क्रूड ऑयल रिफाइन होके ही तो पेट्रोल डीजल बनता है.
Very good,
They
Disha.
are
Yes,
related.
ma'am.
So the person who said before this that crude oil और petrol and diesel oil इसलिए है क्योंकि fossil fuels का prices बढ़ रहा है, then you're going for option that says both are effects of a common cause, which is wrong. B is the effect of A. Crude oil is the raw product out of which you make petrol and diesel. This is what I meant. Your GK is put to use here. They are going to ask you some common general knowledge questions here. And if you don't know them, you will get this answer wrong. It can go sometimes in this direction, GK direction. Sometimes they are giving you normal statements like the children are getting taller, the beds are getting changed. So children getting taller is the cause, the beds being resized is the effect. Independent of general knowledge, but can also head to this direction. Okay, so these are the four options you are given. A is the cause, B is the effect. B is the cause, A is the effect. A and B are completely unrelated, or A and B are related, but दोनों में से कोई cause नहीं है एक दूसरे का. इन दोनों का cause external, बाहर कोई है. Okay, so how do you do? You check first if they are related or unrelated. If they are unrelated, then your answer is obviously option D. If they are related, A, B, or C. If related, you have to check if they are in a causal relationship. So one of them is going to be the cause, one of them is going to be the effect. अगर दोनों में से कोई कर्ता नहीं है और कोई प्रभाव नहीं है, तो फिर ये हुआ ऑप्शन सी, the effects of a common cause. Okay, let us take up this example. The grass is green. The grass can prepare its own food. What should be the answer?
D.
They're completely unrelated. Why is grass green?
Ma'am, A.
I think it's B.
Because of
Do you think?
stomata, chlorophyll
Which
something.
Yeah, stomata is the small openings where they breathe from. It's green because of chlorophyll. And why does it prepare its own food?
Photosynthesis.
Absolutely.
Photosynthesis by the
Ma'am,
presence of sunlight.
here there could be two relation, right? Like grass is green in color, which shows its presence of chlorophyll, and that's why it can make its
Yeah.
own food. And the other way around, we can say because it can make its own food, like because it has its chlorophyll, that's why it's green in color. So in that case, what would be more appropriate, option A or B?
See, the grass is green in color because of chlorophyll. The grass is not green in color because it prepares its own food. Photosynthesis and grass being green are completely unrelated. So B is the cause and A is the effect is wrong. The inverse of this is also wrong. The grass is green in color leads to photosynthesis. Chlorophyll leads to photosynthesis is also absolutely wrong. Chlorophyll is not required in photosynthesis. Okay, there are different elements are required. The gases and all of that is required.
That's fine.
Chlorophyll is nothing, it's just a color component. Okay, now they are not effects of a common cause because they all have different causes. So the
Ma'am,
answer
D.
is D.
Option D, yes.
तो मैंने कहा ना जी के लगेगा, तो अगर आया तो ही करना, वरना छोड़ देना. Okay, skip cause and effect. Could be risky.
Ma'am,
Okay, this is one way that.
can you please
Bolo?
explain it again?
This specific question.
Yes, ma'am.
Grass being green and the grass being able to perform photosynthesis are completely unrelated processes. Chlorophyll has no effect, or I think some bare minimum impact on photosynthesis, but it is not the prime driver of photosynthesis. Chlorophyll की वजह से photosynthesis नहीं होता है, और photosynthesis की वजह से grass green नहीं है. फोटोसिंथेसिस कलर नहीं देता है ग्रास को, खाना बना के देता है बस. तो आपस में इन दोनों का कोई रिश्ता नहीं है. ठीक है,
Okay, ma'am.
इसका इससे
Thank you.
रिश्ता है, इसका इससे. सो द आंसर
Okay.
देयरफॉर इज डी.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, this is what I was talking about. Sometimes you could be given not GK questions but independent statements. बोलो.
Ma'am, chlorophyll is used to capture the sunlight, and uske bina they cannot make food. So I think it is related.
Exactly, ma'am.
Without
I mean, but it's
sunlight,
not.
Without the sunlight, it can't change the.
without
it can't
the
break the
presence of
carbon
sunlight,
dioxide.
food also process. Without the presence of sunlight, food also process in dark reaction.
बट मैम फिर ये तो
Well,
इन
that's
डेप्थ साइंस की
different.
बात आ गई ना एकदम ही. दिस इज डाइवर्टेड टू अ कम्प्लीटली साइंस का टॉपिक. इट्स लाइक
Yeah.
नॉट द प्राइमरी कंसर्न हियर. आई थिंक बहुत डिविएट नहीं हो
No,
रहा है
but
फ्रॉम द
it
मेन
is going to
कंसर्न.
be. वही तो मैंने कहा
Ma'am, but
GK आएगा.
chlorophyll is used to make food. Like
But-
if you search, it is used to make food.
But Siddhi, is it like a primary driver of like
Yes, ma'am, it is.
photosynthesis?
Ma'am, they cannot make
And
food without
alone with the
sunlight.
dark reaction, the plant cannot survive.
At night also they are performing photosynthesis, na?
No, ma'am, I don't think so.
Ma'am, that's what I'm saying. Only with the dark reaction cannot survive.
But
I
green
think
algae में तो without chlorophyll भी photosynthesis होता है green algae में.
okay, so there are some plants that are not green in color and they still perform photosynthesis, right?
Exactly. There are exceptions to it. इसलिए this whole conversation becomes, I think, a little irrelevant.
I mean, that's what I said. It could have
Ma'am,
a role,
रात में नहीं
but it's
करते
not a,
plants. And plus, जो green नहीं होते, I guess they're talking about algae and not plants.
okay.
Yeah.
Algae is not grass.
Acha. Okay. I don't know what
I
I'm
mean-
talking about. But देखो
I
ये
mean, let me check, but I think I've had this conversation, we've had this debate, same debate before. And what was the conclusion is it's not the primary driver, it's not the main
Ma'am,
component.
it's not the primary drive, but it is required. Like it is a important.
So what do you think? The answer should be A. A is the cause and B is the
Yes,
effect.
ma'am.
Because of
Yes, ma'am.
chlorophyll,
Answer should be
because of chlorophyll, they can perform
You
photosynthesis.
can search it up. It is used in making the food.
Okay. Okay, but chuck the question. The whole point is GK is tested. Here your science is tested, biology, and it's not advanced biology, it's 8th grade, 7th grade biology. Okay, so you have to be prepared, okay? Not just this, taxation, finance, economic concepts, all of these will also be asked in cause and effect. I will check this up later. Then let's move on to the last topic, strong and weak arguments. Now, this is like something that's right up your alley. Okay, that's right up a lawyer's alley. You will be thrown arguments back and forth. You have to give arguments, not just be thrown. You have to give arguments. And your stance as a lawyer, your validity as a lawyer depends on how good your arguments are. बकवास नहीं करके आ सकते वहां पे. You have to give proper, strong, constitutionally backing arguments. You have to give strong arguments. Therefore, you need to know the distinction. Is my argument strong or is it weak? That's exactly what this question is going to test. So you will be given a claim followed by two arguments. One is going to say yes, the other is going to say no. I'll show you how it looks like. This is how it's going to look like. This is your statement. One person agrees, the other person disagrees. Censorship is essential to maintain societal harmony. Now here, this is not a subjective test. This is not a moral exam where they're trying to understand where you stand. This is a logic exam. You just have to check कि जो इस बंदे ने हाँ बोल के बात कही है, क्या इसने बात सही कही है? क्या इसने ना बोल के आर्ग्यूमेंट अच्छा दिया है, बात सही कही है? That is what you have to check. Not yes and no. Consider yes when you're checking the argument. इसने हाँ बोल के ना की बात तो नहीं कर ली. यानी he's agreeing and then he's criticizing censorship. वो नहीं हो सकता. If you're saying yes, then you have to extend the argument. If you're saying no, then you have to contradict or criticize the argument. So that is how this question has to be solved. In all the questions, you will be given yes and no. And then 4 options. 1 is strong, 2 is strong, both are strong, or neither of them are strong. What do I mean by strong argument? It has to be logical. It has to be related. Okay, and it has to stick to the stance. यानी अगर yes बोला है तो आर्ग्यूमेंट yes का ही होना चाहिए, no का नहीं. No बोला है तो no का होना चाहिए, yes का नहीं. Okay, here your personal judgments, your subjectivity has no place. This is how you will determine if it is strong or not. Let me take up a good example. I think I've taken this with the old students, but try it. The government should provide unconditional basic income to all citizens. The first person is saying yes. The government should indeed provide unconditional basic income. Why? Basic income reduces poverty and ensures a minimum standard of living. The other person says no, the government should not provide unconditional basic because unconditional basic income discourages work and hampers economic growth.
B.
Now you just have to tell me which of the following are strong. Both of them are strong, neither of them are strong.
B.
Ah, I don't want which of
A.
them is stronger. Stronger नहीं कहा कि कौन सा बेहतर है, कौन सा स्ट्रॉन्ग है और कौन सा एकदम ही बेकार है. So people who are going for A or B, tell me why is the other one weak?
Ma'am, A, because there needs to be a basic standard of living, like just the bare minimum. What we say, it's never gonna, like, if somebody wants to improve in their life, they can always work harder and do so. That's not exactly hampering, but it's just ensuring a um basic standard of living so that you can have the basic home, food for surviving, basically.
Absolutely. You're
While the
absolutely
other
right.
one other one completely denies the fact and says that it's just gonna give them the leverage to not work. But that's
Is
not
that
exactly.
not strong? That's not exactly, sorry, I cut you off.
No, that's what I said. That's not exactly. One can always grow from that. The basic is not going to give you a comfortable life, always what one visions of. But basic just ensures that you have the home, the food to grow more. And it always depends on you. So
But
the basic is that's it now.
right, but it's not a competition. It's like you don't have to pick one out of the two. You are right. You gave excellent argument for A. And I agree. A is indeed strong. Basic income होगा, छत होगी, थोड़ा खाना होगा, तो एनर्जी होगी, बाहर जाके काम ढूंढेंगे, घर पे आके काम के बाद सो पाएंगे. बट सेकंड वाला भी थोड़ी पति की बात नहीं कर रहा है. सेकंड वाला बोल रहा है कि अगर हाथ में पैसे आ रहे हैं तो कौन उठ के काम करने जाएगा, कौन मेहनत
Exactly.
करेगा.
Ma'am, the
Yes,
will
ma'am.
to work and actually the urgency कि हाँ I have to find a job वो थोड़ी सी eliminate हो जाएगी because they know at the end of the day even if I'm not working hard I will substantially get the amount that I can survive on. It's not a life and death situation. तो लोग generally human nature है, people will get laid back.
Correct. Like there's no motivation for them to work. Absolutely right. So here it's not a competition between two of you guys कि B ज्यादा बेहतर है, A गलत है. कौन सा स्ट्रांग है? A अपनी जगह स्ट्रांग है, B भी अपनी जगह स्ट्रांग है, वैलिड है. पूछो, इसने सामने वाले ने एकदम अच्छा आर्ग्यूमेंट दिया, पते की बात कही, हाँ, so strong. Is this related to the above argument, given statement? Yes. Therefore, both are strong. Remember, you're not looking for which is stronger comparatively. No, look at them in isolation. क्या अकेले A सही है, क्या अकेले B सही है? You have option as both and neither also. Okay, so this is how you're supposed to approach. When it comes to logical reasoning, bare minimum theory. Okay, you don't even have to practice a lot. You just have to have your logic in the right place. Like these small little misconceptions, once they are cleared, your questions, your accuracy is going to be there. The other part is option elimination. That is something that you need to focus on because you will find a lot of options very close to each other. ठीक है? करें फिर? Let's do some AILET level questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am.
बोलो.
What about the other topics like paradoxes, flaws, and parallel reasoning type?
Is that related to AILET?
Yes,
Paradox
ma'am. Yes,
आता है?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. आ भी सकता है, क्या पता दे दें,
नहीं
कोई भरोसा
आया
नहीं.
है क्या पास्ट में? क्योंकि ये क्लैट में आता है. इसका मेरे को आई डोंट थिंक AILET में मैंने देखा है. Is it common in AILET? We can take it up.
मैम नॉट कॉमन, लेकिन 2-3 क्वेश्चन आ जाते हैं ऐसे. PYQs में भी देखा है थोड़ा.
Okay.
Just give us a brief.
Yeah. I mean, for this, we'll have to practice a bunch of questions. When it comes to paradox, again, first you just need to know what paradox is by definition. Paradox are two opposite situations in conflict. मतलब ये दो उल्टी चीजें हैं जो हो रही हैं. For example, teacher, what a selfless job, what a generous job. She's taking out time from her life to eat us so we can shape our future. Paradoxically, I'm getting paid for this. So it's not really a selfless, generous job. Okay, this is as capitalistically driven as any other service job. So that's a paradox. Other common one, Facebook, Instagram, these were all meant to create communities to help make friends, okay, socialize. Paradoxically, it has ended up isolating you. People are now more alone, more friendless than ever before. That is paradox. Two opposite situations in a contrast. Now resolve the paradox में आपको इन दोनों situations के बीच में एक ऐसा solution डालना है जो इन दोनों situations को resolve कर देगा. ठीक है, ये दोनों opposite situations को fix कर देगा. ठीक है, I think I had taken this one and you guys gave me such creative solutions and resolution of the given paradox. Okay, a surgeon has low success rate while operating, but he's still the best in the hospital. Okay, do you guys remember how did we resolve this given paradox? सबसे कम नहीं, low success rate है. So that could be one, that he does have the lowest success rate, but comparatively, it is still the highest. When I'm comparing him to other surgeon, it is still the highest. That resolves the paradox. What else?
Ma'am, experience maybe. He's more experienced. Or the diversity of cases he's dealt with.
But that does not make him the best, no, in the hospital. And okay, his experience, that makes him best. But why then does he have low success rate? It's not resolving the paradox. Paradox में दोनों parties को आपको cater करना होता है. Experience is only catering to this party.
मैम मे
क्या
बी
कहा
वो
मैंने?
ओनली या फिर डॉक्टर हो सकता है वहां पे.
Yeah, that is a good one. He's the only doctor. He's the only doctor, he's the only surgeon that, therefore, despite having low success rate, 1%, 2%, he's still the best because he's the only one. Excellent. What else? What he's
ऐसा भी कह सकते हैं, जैसे वो जो टाइप सर्जरी करता है वो पूरे वर्ल्ड में ही मतलब बहुत उसका सक्सेस रेट कम है.
हाँ, कह सकते हैं पूरा वर्ल्ड में ही सबसे कम है उसका, और कंपैरेटिवली इन द वर्ल्ड उसका हाईएस्ट है. इट्स सिमिलर टू द फर्स्ट वन. हम ये भी कह सकते हैं कि वो जो भी सर्जरी करता है वो ऑलरेडी ऐसे पेशेंट्स पे करता है जो क्रिटिकल हालत में है, मतलब एकदम 99%, मतलब 1% बचने का चांस है उनका, तो वो वैसे ही मरने वाले होते हैं. अगर उन पेशेंट्स में भी वो कुछ लोगों को बचा लेता है, then he's still the best. So he's already operating on critically ill patients. And one more, maybe the surgeon and the director are friends, best friends, relatives. Maybe he's the son of the director. Who knows?
Then maybe he is the director of the hospital himself.
तो अपने आप को बोल रहा है आई एम द बेस्ट. हो सकता है,
It's not possible, like.
हो सकता है, बिल्कुल हो सकता है, क्यों नहीं, वो खुद ही है, and that is why he's claiming himself to be the best. So despite having a low success rate, he's saying I'm the best surgeon in the hospital, sort of advertising himself. So that is how you resolve a paradox. Right now you didn't have options, but you will have options, and what you're supposed to keep in mind, इसको भी cater करना चाहिए और इसको भी cater करना चाहिए, and it should resolve this conflict. Okay, there's no theory here, there's no option elimination here. The only option elimination is if it's only partially catering. then you eliminate it. Like for him, for example, he got AIR 1 in his NEET exam. Sure, he got AIR 1 in NEET exam, therefore he's the best. But why does he have low success rate then? It's not solving the upper half problem. So that is partially correct. You get rid of it. So in paradox, there's only partially correct wrong. Okay, I will give you some mixed questions. I have them. Whatever question theory is left, I will take it up there. Okay? Let's solve some questions now. Bolo. Parallel reasoning and all of that is left, na? I have questions. I will take it up. Parallel reasoning is exactly like variables. Okay, it should be exactly like the above statements. Yeah, I have it in this PPT. No theory, but parallel reasoning is done where you have to understand the original argument, you have to understand the logical flow of the argument. Cause and effect, example, assertion. Okay, how is it flowing? What is leading to the other? And then you have to imitate the similar in the options. For example, there is a growing clamor about how the makers of Maharaja did not promote the Vijay Starer in the Hindi belt. However, many fail to comprehend is that it's totally okay if not all stars want to jump on the Pan India wagon. So here, Vijay, what is his full name? Devrakonda? Whatever, there's an actor who did not promote his films unlike other actors who were doing it constantly. Now that mirrors option B. The puzzlement over the genius not taking up a high paying salary job is based on the notion that geniuses usually want high income. So actors usually want to jump in on the pan India wagon, but Vijay is an exception to this. Similar to option B, the genius who rejected a high paying job is an exception to this cultural trend. That is how it's mirroring. Okay, so there is again no strategy, no approach. You just have to understand the language and then check which one mirrors the language and also the logic of the given statement. Okay, all of these you can only get better when you solve a ton of them. Okay, so let us take it up. I hope you guys can see this. Yeah, I'm sharing. Yeah. So what is this? This is conclusion. In each of the following questions is given a statement followed by two conclusions. You have to assume everything in the statement to be true, then consider the two conclusions together and decide which of the logically follows beyond reasonable doubt.
दिख नहीं रहा है मैम
Mom, we can only see the example and the PPT about the paradox and
Okay.
reasoning.
Okay, I'm not sharing. Yeah. Now, can you see verbal reasoning?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Now, this is the question. Now, you have to tell me which conclusion logically follows from the given premise.
D.
Neither.
If neither conclusion 1 nor conclusion 2 follows.
Pakka?
Ma'am,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think it's the first conclusion that follows, the second does not.
And it's A.
A. Only one follows.
Yes, ma'am, I think it's A as well.
Okay, get ready to give me good valid arguments then. The use of non-conventional sources of energy will eliminate the energy crisis in the world. Now, it has to be logically backed from the given evidence. I do not want your GK. Modern tech is gradually replacing the conventional source of energy. People who are going for A, how did you go for or infer A from the given line?
Ma'am, because conclusion 2 states that the excessive exploitation. Excessive is something that extremely mentioned.
Not mentioned? or it's extreme option?
Extreme, yes, ma'am. Extremely mentioned in conclusion 2, so that's why conclusion 2 is being eliminated.
What about 1?
Ma'am, I think conclusion 1 is like something not so extreme, so that's why conclusion 1.
But
I
that
think
is not the
I think
only.
I used a little bit GK here. It was not necessary, but वो GK unconsciously आई गई. I think the
Correct.
answer is going to be neither of them.
You're not supposed to use your GK. When it comes to conclusion and assumption questions, you do not go out of scope. You stick to scope. When it comes to cause and effect, when it comes to strengthening, weakening, sure, we have to go out there. But in these questions, assumption, inference, conclusion, you stick to what is given to you. Conclusion का मतलब ही यही है, derived from what is given. Stick to what is given. Non-conventional energy sources, energy crisis हटा देंगे दुनिया से. Modern tech is gradually replacing. Where have they mentioned modern tech? Have they
ऑप्शन
even
सी हो.
option C? दोनों. Do you think both of them follow?
Ma'am, option D.
Ma'am,
Neither.
conclusion
Conclusion
one
one
Ma'am,
or two.
neither of them.
Neither of them
Neither
should
of.
be answered.
हाँ.
Because modern tech not given. The
And
excessive exploitation of environment has led to the
Ma'am, both are not relevant to the statement. It is not giving the solution. They are
correct.
just giving a
But
general statement.
hmm,
Neither them are reasons or weakening or doing anything to the statement.
absolutely. Conclusion 2 is giving a reason कि इसकी वजह से ये हो रहा है. Right? मेरे को तुमने सिर्फ इतना बताया है कि ये कर देगा. क्यों हो रहा है ऐसा तुमने कुछ दिया ही नहीं है. So the answer for this is actually neither 1 nor 2. Neither of the conclusion follow the statement because none of them mention anything about the use or benefits of non-conventional sources of energy. So when it comes to a question like these, scope is where you have to stick to. You cannot violate this. Try one more.
Option C. If both conclusions 1 and 2 follow.
Pakka.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, it's
Ma'am, I
only
think
the
it's only
option
second
B
one. I only think it's the second one. It's B.
second one,
because ma'am A is irrelevant and B is only the one which is in accordance to a statement.
Fine, maybe it's in the scope, but can it be concluded? Tell me. Computer advertisements now fill magazine pages, but the real computer revolution in India is taking place quietly and is a likely organization of government.
ma'am,
Okay.
maybe conclusion second. मतलब I think neither should मतलब B option should be right because first of all तो पहले मैम स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का तो ऐसा कोई उसने मेंशन ही नहीं किया और सेकंड मैम लाइक इट इज सर्टेनली सेइंग कि बिल्कुल भी नहीं हो रहा है और ऊपर मतलब इज लाइक कि धीरे धीरे हो रहा है काइंड ऑफ की यू नो समथिंग पॉसिबिलिटी काइंड ऑफ सो आई थिंक नीदर शुड बी द आंसर.
Now, see, these are all AILET level questions. Huh? They're not easy. Look at them properly. Second one conclusion says the government does not fill the magazine pages with its computer advertisements. Government कितनी एडवर्टाइजमेंट डालता है, क्या वो एडवर्टाइजमेंट डालता है, नहीं डालता है. People who are going for this, where is this inferred? How did you infer this? कि गवर्नमेंट और एडवर्टाइजिंग का रिश्ता है.
Ma'am, because it said कि the real computer revolution is taking place quietly, and therefore I assume कि they are not making a big deal about it by advertising much, and it's likely an organization of the government. So government का वहाँ से relation I think आ जाता है. Because what else would you infer when they say ki quietly it's taking place? Then they're not, making advertisements about it, or they're not talking much, it's not in the news, then it's going on the back end.
Then the फिर opposite हुआ फिर second. Then they are advertising
Ma'am,
quietly or subtly.
ma'am, I think conclusion one follows because
Why?
it implies that the government is indeed computerizing, so like it follows the statement. And
Correct.
I don't think so that the conclusion two is correct because it's not specific, it's very vague. Like
It is
if
vague.
you say, ma'am,
Yeah.
it is vague, so I think statement one follows.
Second one, actually, we do not have enough data to conclude that government does not fill magazine pages with its computer advertisements. Okay, we don't know if the government is not filling magazine pages with its own advertisements. All we know is this computer revolution is a likely organization of the government. Okay, computer advertisements now fill magazine pages, but computer revolution is organization of government. ये एडवर्टाइजमेंट और गवर्नमेंट का कुछ लेना देना नहीं है, कंप्यूटर रेवोल्यूशन और गवर्नमेंट का लेना देना है, एडवर्टाइजिंग और उसमें कोई कनेक्शन ही नहीं है. दिस वन cannot be determined. Now look at A. Both central and state government are computerizing rapidly. Well, there is a revolution taking place, a computer revolution by the government. Now, it's saying government. Is central government? Yes. Is state government? Yes. So both of them can be included here. So one can be concluded because they're both governments. But the second one cannot be concluded because you cannot draw any connection, any link between advertising and government. You can draw it between computers and government, but not computer advertising and government. Because a computer revolution is happening, and such a change is only possible on a national scale if it involves both central and state governments. So here they have just used this synonymously. They have considered this the same thing. Hence, they have said one follows.
मैम
Understood?
लेकिन हम लोग यहाँ पे रैपिडली के बारे में कैसे कह सकते हैं कि मतलब तेजी से हो रहा है?
वो नहीं कह सकते, रैपिडली नहीं कह सकते.
Ma'am,
But
could you explain this like once again? I didn't understand how the central and state government are also included because they're saying it's a likely organization.
And ma'am, ये assume करने के लिए भी तो फिर हम scope के बाहर ही गए ना कि a change is only possible on a national scale if it involves both in central and the state governments. It's not like data से infer कर रहे हो आप.
डेटा से हमने ये इन्फर किया कि गवर्नमेंट कहाँ है, तो फिर ये कंसिडर होगा, सेंट्रल एंड स्टेट गवर्नमेंट होगा. So they have synonymously used this. They're not going on an assumption level. Ignore the national word, but they have just synonymously interchanged central and state government with government, which is something that AILET does. I mean, AILET gives you some difficult set of questions. So this is a little, I know, like a tough connection to make because सिर्फ सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट भी दे सकते थे, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट क्यों दिया, क्यों सेंट्रल और स्टेट दोनों दिया, राइट? बट if they're saying entirety of government, then probably they have considered state government also. And yeah, rapidly cannot be concluded.
वही ना
Now
मैम, क्योंकि ऐसा कुछ मेंशन ही नहीं किया है कि ये चीज रैपिडली हो रहा है, क्वाइटली समझ आता है.
धीरे धीरे कर रहे हैं. अब अचानक से मैम रैपिडली वाला तो काफी एक्सट्रीम वाला ऑप्शन नहीं होगा उससे भी.
नहीं, रैपिडली एक्सट्रीम नहीं कर रहा है उसको, नया एलिमेंट है पर रैपिडली. ठीक है, लेट मी मार्क दिस फॉर रिव्यू. But I hope you've understood the logic, how much logic you could have to exercise here, right? Like government, state and central government makes it like a national scope of issue. but that national scope, I mean, real computer revolution in India. Now, this could be a national problem, na?
अच्छा,
Hakina. Now, here it's hinted, given that it's a revolution in India, then it's happening throughout India. So, central and state government have to be involved. So, this one can be included.
यस मैम, सेंट्रल और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट से तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, क्योंकि वो समझ आ रहा है कि अगर वो नेशन के बारे में बात कर रहा है तो डेफिनेटली यही तो आएंगे ना उस, लेकिन वो जो रैपिडली आ गया ना वो थोड़ा
Okay. Okay, you might have one or two words that could irk you, but I think it could be taken into consideration because it's not as bad of an answer. Okay, I'll check this. Is rapidly really throwing the option off? I'll check this later. Let's solve more questions.
Ma'am, B option, I think.
Only two? One is not a
Yes.
good course of action, you think? Why not?
Option C.
Option B?
Ma'am, option C.
Both? दोनों ही
ma'am.
सही है?
Ma'am, option C.
Ma'am, option
Both of,
C.
both of them are good?
Yes, ma'am.
Light Up Company has rejected lot of switches supplied by company ABC and has cancelled huge order, quoting inferior quality and poor craftsmanship. Now you are this company. You need to investigate functioning of the purchase, production, and quality control departments of your company. Will you do that? If somebody complains ki, bhai, your company is not
Yes,
producing
ma'am.
good stuff.
yes, ma'am.
yes
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Definitely, right? You will ask the production team, what are they doing? These guys, they're supposed to check for quality. What are they doing? How are they sending inferior stuff to other companies? Then the company should inspect all the valves rejected by Lighter. Do you think you will also check the
Yes,
stuff
ma'am.
that was
Yes,
rejected?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
might have been कि उसी lot में कुछ गलती से दिक्कत हो गई हो.
Absolutely. What if they are making a false claim,
Hmm.
right? So both should follow logically.
Option D.
Delhi,
Yes, ma'am.
the state government is expecting bumper crop of wheat this year under its wheat purchase guarantee scheme. What's wrong with A? A क्यों नहीं हो सकता? First वाला क्यों नहीं हो सकता? एक appropriate solution.
मैम यहाँ पे next
Ma'am,
year
because
दिया
it's
है.
talking about next year.
Future, ma'am. सीधा ही ये तो प्रेजेंट की बात हो रही है ना.
Correct. अगले साल क्या होगा किसे पता? The price of wheat will increase in the open market. What about this? Why is this bad? Bumper crop मतलब increased, more amount of crop.
हाँ, तो मैम अगर ज्यादा प्रोडक्शन होगा तो मार्केट में प्राइस तो कम नहीं होना चाहिए. लाइक ऑब्वियसली वो हाई क्यों होगा, क्योंकि प्रोडक्शन तो है ही है ना अपने पास, सप्लाई तो है ही है.
Absolutely. Supply is more, the price should be less, not high. So answer is neither.
Ma'am, only two, I think.
B
Only
option.
two.
Ma'am, B.
B, ma'am.
Yes,
What's
ma'am.
wrong with the
Option
first
C,
one?
ma'am.
Ma'am,
Option
first
C.
one is irrelevant. मतलब many candidates from the state of X may not appear for CAT this year and may appear from other states. उसका मतलब
मैम
relevance
रेलेवेंट
नहीं
है ना
रहता.
कैसे relevant है?
मैम. अगर मेरी 60-70% के नीचे आए तो ऑफ कोर्स आई विल गो एंड अटेम्प्ट एट सम अदर स्टेट, किसी और स्टेट के लिए अटेम्प्ट करूंगा.
मैम हर
ठीक
स्टेट
है,
How
but
can you
Ma'am, but ये
determine?
तो common
Hypothetical
admission test है ना,
situation is
हर
not
स्टेट में
allowed.
तो सेम ही होगा.
नहीं मैम, हर स्टेट में सेम
अरे,
नहीं होता. जैसे वेस्ट बंगाल में WBJE होता है और महाराष्ट्र में MST CET होता है. तो ये तो ऐसे अलग अलग एग्जाम्स होते हैं.
बट मेरे को
ऑप्शन
जीके का यूज ही नहीं करना है ना अभिनव. ये लिखा हुआ है ना, स्टेट एक्स का ही बड़ा है 10%.
हाँ तो
ma'am,
मैम जब
I think
स्टेट एक्स का बड़ा है तो दूसरे स्टेट में तो जाके दे ही सकते हैं.
दे ही सकते हैं,
ये तो
बट
लॉजिक है.
अगले साल क्यों देना है? Why will you not appear for CAT this year? You can go and give it next the same year as well, na? So why are they
मैम यहाँ
saying
पे
may
लिखा है
not?
many candidates from state X may not appear for CAT this year एंड मे अपीयर फ्रॉम अदर स्टेट्स। तो इस साल वो लोग इस स्टेट में नहीं देगा, पर इसी साल वो लोग कोई दूसरे स्टेट में जाके देगा। तो हम सही तो है।
May not appear for cat this year
हम
and
वो
may
इरेडिकेट ही कर दी ना ऑप्शन कैट देने की। अगर दिस ईयर नहीं दे रहे हैं तो फिर दूसरे स्टेट में जाके देने का कहाँ लॉजिक बन रहा है? या तो आप ये बोलो
यस
कि
मैम,
मैम
वही।
इस
स्टेटमेंट में
स्टेट्स
तो
में नहीं
अगले
दे रहे
साल से
हैं,
लिखा नहीं है।
या तो ये नहीं बोलो कि इस स्टेट में नहीं दे रहे हैं। उन्होंने लिखा है दिस ईयर ऑल टुगेदर आई एम नॉट गोना गिव द एग्जाम, सो हाउ आर यू सेइंग कि मैं दूसरे स्टेट में जाके दे दूंगा?
हर कोई थोड़ा ना दे देगा, मे बी वो लाइक कि हम नेक्स्ट ईयर देने वाला भी कोई आ गया।
नहीं मैम, जब यहाँ पे लिखा है कि वो
मैम
लोग इस
मैनी
साल कैट का
कैंडिडेट्स लिखा है फर्स्टली, और फिर
तो वो
वो
लोग
बोल रहे हैं कि
कोई
दूसरे
दूसरे
स्टेट
स्टेट में भी तो जाके दे सकता है।
many candidates लिखा है।
हाँ
मैम ये
मैंने ही
बिल्कुल
लिखा है,
सही
तो
कह रहा है कि
बहुत सारे कैंडिडेट्स होंगे जिसका
एग्जैक्टली
70 के नीचे आएगा।
हाँ, वो
ऑप्शन
स्टेट
सी
एक्स
होना
पे
चाहिए।
अपीयर नहीं
मैम
कर
आई
सकते,
थिंक
लेकिन
इसका
जो
लॉजिक
दूसरे।
ये है कि मैनी कैंडिडेट्स इसलिए अपियर नहीं कर रहे क्योंकि गिर गया है, तो फिर वो अपियर कर ही नहीं पाएंगे। मतलब बढ़ गया है, अब पहले 60
मैम
वाले भी
ऑप्शन
अपियर कर
सी
रहे थे,
इज द
अब
आंसर।
70 वाले नहीं, 70 वाले करेंगे तो 60 वाले कर ही नहीं पा रहे, इसलिए नहीं अपियर कर रहे हैं गैस।
मैम अगर देखा जाए तो स्टेटमेंट वन भी सही, मतलब कोर्स ऑफ एक्शन वन जो है वो भी सही है, क्योंकि लाइक जो एलिजिबल नहीं थे पहले, लाइक जो एलिजिबल थे पहले अब वो एलिजिबल नहीं है बिकॉज ऑफ दिस स्टेटमेंट।
पर
तो फिर आई
एलिजिबल होने
थिंक
के लिए आपको एग्जाम देना पड़ता है, ठीक है? आपको मालूम होना चाहिए कि ओ मेरे 60 से कम आने वाले हैं, इससे अच्छा मैं जाके फिर एमपी से एग्जाम दूं। But that is something that nobody can speculate. For 10%, you're going and giving the exam from a different state as if you can anticipate कि भाई मेरा तो वैसे ही 55% आने वाला है. Can we do that? And can many candidates are going to do that?
मैम ऑप्शन सी ही आंसर होगा मैम, श्योर है।
फाइनल से मैम अगर वो
नहीं है ऐसी। B आंसर है. Only
मैम
B follows.
ये भी तो
मैम
है ना कि
कैसे भी
उन्होंने
हो सकता है
मैम
मैम
आई
यहाँ पे।
थिंक इसका बेस्ट लॉजिक जो बैठता है एज एन इंडिपेंडेंट सेंटेंस, इफ यू लुक एट इट रिलेटिंग टू द स्टेटमेंट, द
Yeah.
फर्स्ट इज नॉट फॉलोइंग एट ऑल। बिकॉज 10% के लिए यू विल लीव द एग्जाम ऑल टुगेदर एक साल एंड देन यू विल गो टू अदर स्टेट्स। उतना हेडेक प्रैक्टिकली देखी जाए तो आई डोंट थिंक अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल आर गोना टेक, दे आर गोइंग टू अपीयर
नहीं
many
मैम
सेफली।
ऐसी
many
बात नहीं है।
मैम आई
मैम
देयर इज अ
ऐसी
फ्लॉ इन
बात
द
नहीं है मैम।
स्टेटमेंट। आरना स्टेटमेंट, वो जो स्टेटमेंट बोल रहा है, ये बोल रहा है कि वो अपियर इस साल नहीं करेंगे और वो दूसरे स्टेट से करेंगे। वो ये नहीं बोल रहा कि वो ऑल टुगेदर इस साल एग्जाम ही नहीं देंगे।
वही
तो
बात है मैम।
आई थिंक
एक
उसने
और
गलत
सिंपल
इंटरप्रेट किया।
एग्जांपल भी अगर हम लोग ले, जेई और सीयूईटी का। जेई के लिए 75% क्राइटेरिया है, पर सीयूईटी में ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। तो अभी मेजोरिटी बच्चा का अगर मतलब कोई एक एक ग्रुप होगा बच्चों का जिसका 75% नहीं आया होगा, वो लोग सीयूईटी देगा। तो मैम इस हिसाब से भी तो देखे तो नंबर वन तो करेक्ट ही है।
मैम बट अगर
लेकिन बात
देखिए तो स्टेटमेंट वन इज वेरी स्पेक्यूलेटिव, मतलब नॉट अ
Yeah.
डायरेक्ट कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस ऑफ एलिजिबिलिटी चेंज, लाइक
मैम ये
बहुत।
भी तो है कि अगर मैम उसको पता है कि मुझे एग्जाम देना है तो डेफिनेटली वो ट्राई करेगा ना कि मेरे 70% आए। वो क्यों वो सोचेगा कि मेरे उससे कम आएंगे? वो तो
Why?
फिर
But
मैम वो
that's
नो
what
वन
I'm
वाला
saying.
नोज ना
सेंस
यार,
ही
अगर
नहीं
आप भी
बना रहा
गए।
है कहीं से भी। मेरे को तो समझ में भी नहीं आ रहा, वो सेंस भी नहीं बना रहा है, फालतू है।
मैम वही था,
फॉर्म
the
लगा है।
fact that
लेकिन
eligibility is raised does not automatically mean candidates cannot appear from their states. They could
Yeah.
appear if they meet like
मैम
But there is
ऑप्शन
no
70%
way
right?
that Abhinav, how can one predict that मेरा इस साल 60% से कम ही आएगा तो मैं दूसरे स्टेट से देता हूँ?
मैम
What if the paper
60%
is
से कम।
wrong?
मैम 60% से कम आएगा कौन बोला है? आ ही चुका है। यहाँ पे तो लिखा है एलिजिबिलिटी टू अपियरिंग इन द सीएटी फॉर लॉ स्टे। हाँ तो मैम 60% से 70% हुआ है। तो अब जो बच्चों का 60-70 के बीच में आया होगा, वो लोग अब तो इस स्टेट में देंगे नहीं, स्टेट एक्स में। वो लोग डेफिनेटली दूसरे स्टेट जाएंगे। तो मैम पहला वाला तो
अच्छा, जिनका आ चुका है, करेक्ट,
हाँ।
12th
तो
में।
ये तो मेनी स्टूडेंट्स तो होंगे ही ना मैम।
मैम ये
एक
तो
एक
सोल्यूशन
ग्रुप
हो
तो
गया इस
होगा।
तरह का, कॉल सेक्शन थोड़ा ना हुआ है।
Many candidates may not appear for CAT this year and may appear from other states. Somebody said that we are interpreting it wrong and it's not really talking about
yes
attempting
ma'am,
next.
यस मैम।
this year बोला है तो appear from other
मैम मैं
state
बोल रही
हाँ
थी
तो
this
मैम
year।
कि
किसी को नहीं पता ना कि नेक्स्ट ईयर, जैसे पिछला साल था 60%, इस साल कर दिया 70%, अगले साल 50% कर दिया। तो नो वन नोज दैट कि किसको कैसे घिसकाएगा गवर्नमेंट।
And
पर
then
यहाँ पे तो
you're
यहाँ पे तो
contradicting yourself.
मैम आई एम नॉट कॉन्ट्रोडिक्टिंग मैम, बस हम ये बता रहे हैं कि परसेंटेज का कोई ठीक नहीं है। वो बॉडी डिसाइड करेगी कि जिसको जैसे रखना है। पर जो
Can
स्टूडेंट,
I say?
अगर वो मैम अगर जो
Yeah.
स्टूडेंट का अगर वो रिक्वायरमेंट्स मीट नहीं करेगा वो तो डेफिनेटली दूसरे स्टेट जाएगा ही। सो तो लॉजिक मैम।
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Siddhi, you were saying?
यस मैम। मैम आई थिंक कि इसमें अभी 60 से 70 कर दिया है, तो जो 60 वाले बच्चे हैं वो अपीयर नहीं कर रहे, इसलिए इसमें बोला है कि कैट में इस साल बच्चे अपीयर नहीं कर रहे हैं एंड वो अगले साल दूसरे स्टेट से अपीयर करेंगे। तो आई थिंक दैट इज व्हाट द स्टेटमेंट मीन्स एंड नॉट
नहीं
कि
नहीं,
वो
नॉट
सेकंड
एट
कर
ऑल,
रहे हैं इसलिए वो नहीं देंगे।
Not at
नॉट
all.
एट ऑल मैम, नॉट एट ऑल मैम। कैंडिडेट्स
Why?
मे नॉट अपीयर फॉर कैट दिस ईयर एंड मे अपीयर फ्रॉम अदर स्टेट्स। मतलब वो लोग इस साल कैट का पेपर स्टेट एक्स से नहीं देंगे और इसी साल कहीं और जाके दूसरा पेपर देंगे। मतलब सारी बात एक ही ईयर के बारे में हो रही है।
यहाँ पे ये नहीं कह रहा है ना कि वो बढ़ा देगा, ये हो चुका है ना मैम। तो अब जिनका नहीं आया तो डेफिनेटली वो दूसरे स्टेट से ही देंगे। वो ये नहीं कह रहा है कि वो
एग्जैक्टली
अगले साल देगा, अगले साल देगा। वो कह रहा है कि क्योंकि इस वाले स्टेट में अब उनका नहीं हो पाया तो किसी और स्टेट में देगा और इसी साल देगा वो।
ठीक है, but I
हाँ
think साल
एग्जैक्टली
वगैरह
वही
is
है।
also not going to change things a lot this year or next year. Let me take that into consideration. If it's this year or even next year, it's not going to change things a lot. The logic that they have used for elimination is the fact that this is an indefinite. ये हो सकता है, ये now course of action is also a consequence or a next potential step, and I think one is a potential step that a lot of candidates could take, right? May not appear for CAT and may appear from other states, which is a potential step they could take since the
अगर यहाँ पे
eligibility.
मे के जगह विल होता तो वी कुड हैव सेड कि नहीं ये पहला वाला नहीं होगा।
मे है इसलिए होगा।
यहाँ पे मे है मैम, तो ये तो चॉइस पे डिपेंड करता है बच्चों का।
Second वाला सही है. Is everyone agreeing on the second one? At pre-examination screening, candidates obtaining less than 70% will have to be eliminated. ये तो सही है.
Yes, ma'am.
60 से 70 हुआ है, अगर 70 से कम लाया तो ऑब्वियसली आपको निकाल दिया जाएगा. Okay, now this one again, I have to think about this. I'm glad that there's certain conflict of interest arise and then there's discourse, but the fact that we cannot come to a conclusion really startles me. But when it comes to exams, there are rarely such polarizing questions given. So you don't have to worry about this. This exact question is also made by some human being with a potential error that they could have made. So let me check this one, read this one carefully. I think it's also right and it's also wrong. It has potential for both of it. So let me see which one is better. Tab tak you solve the other questions. Try this one, cause and effect.
मैम ऑप्शन सी,
Why C?
क्योंकि मैम ब्रोंज का प्राइस 30 से 60,000 जंप करना, डबल हो जाना, तो कोई रीजन नहीं बनता कि इंडियंस को
This one's talking about the increase, the double of price of bronze. The price getting doubled almost.
Ma'am,
And
I
then this
think
one is
Option D because
related.
they both have second statement is moreover a cause of first statement.
अच्छा, इसकी वजह से ये हुआ है, कैसे?
मैम
मैम
क्योंकि
Because in the
डिमांड
rise
हाई है
of
तो उनका
price
सप्लाई
of
तो देता है।
bronze, it is one of the main reason where Indian sculptures of bronze statues are gaining more.
मैम आई
Ma'am,
थिंक
I
देयर
think
इफेक्ट्स ऑफ
we.
सम इंडिपेंडेंट कॉजेज, मेरे को सी लग रहा
यस मैम सी,
मुझे भी
इंडिपेंडेंट
ठीक ही
कॉजेस।
लगता है इंडिपेंडेंट
Ma'am,
है
how
बिकॉज
come B होना चाहिए इसका, मुझे लग रहा है.
कैसे
Like,
भी
पहले तो
होगा?
डिमांड एंड
मैम
सप्लाई
बी
का
ma'am,
नहीं
नहीं
लग
हो सकता क्योंकि
क्यों?
ब्रॉन्ज बहुत जगह यूज हो सकता है।
मैम बट ऑल्सो
में
कि
यूज होता है, इन
ब्रॉन्ज का
सबमरीन में यूज
प्राइस
होता
बढ़ना हैज नो कोरिलेशन ऑफ द डिमांड इंक्रीजिंग इन द स्कल्पचर एरिया। उसका
And that
कहीं
too
ना
from different countries,
हाँ
countries.
right?
एग्जैक्टली उसका कोई ना कोई
Oh,
चेन
okay,
ऑफ
okay.
रिलेशंस नहीं बैठ रहा है, सी है।
Absolutely.
Yes.
The price being doubled and the demand of sculptures by foreign countries have nothing to do with the prices. Hence, they are both unrelated to each other.
मैम मैंने वो स्टूडेंट वाला क्वेश्चन चैट जीपीटी को दिया तो उसने बहुत
हाँ,
अच्छे से समझाया है।
क्या बोला उसने? और आंसर क्या
उसने
है उसका?
बोला कि जो फर्स्ट पार्ट था मे नॉट अपीयर वाला, दैट इज
हाँ,
लॉजिकली कनेक्टेड क्योंकि दे
तो
आर
बोथ
इनएलिजिबल। बट जो सेकंड पार्ट है उसका, मतलब दे आर मतलब मे अपीयर फॉर फ्रॉम अदर स्टेट्स, वो लॉजिकली नॉट कनेक्टेड है क्योंकि हम लोग खुद ब खुद यही अज्यूम कर ले रहे हैं कि अदर स्टेट्स आर एक्सेप्टिंग देम, डोमिसाइल रूल आ रहा है, एंड दे विल चूज टू अप्लाई समवेयर एल्स। हम लोग कुछ कॉजेस को खुद ब खुद सोच ले रहे हैं।
मैम मैं तो इनिशियली कह रही थी कि इन ऑल सेंटेंस बहुत स्पेक्यूलेटिव सा है, हम बहुत चीजें अज्यूम बिफोर हैंड कर रहे हैं।
स्पेकुलेशन।
गलत है जी।
तो अगर स्टेट एक्स में बढ़ा है तो फिर हम ये मान के चल रहे हैं कि ए बी सी डी ई एफ जी में सेम रहा है, पर चैट जीपीटी कह रहा है कि तुम्हें नहीं दिया है तो तुम अज्यूम नहीं कर सकते। ये गलत अजम्पशन है। वहां पे शायद 60 से लेके 80-90 पहुंचा होगा कट
मैम यू
ऑफ।
माइट नो कभी कम भी हो गया हो दूसरे स्टेट्स में, इट्स लाइक समथिंग
हाँ
विच वी आर
वही।
टेकिंग अ लॉट ऑफ असम्पशंस ऑल टुगेदर एट हैंड।
आउटकम
हम्म
ऑफ जा रहे हैं, क्यों सोचना है कि
हम्म
दूसरे स्टेट में कम है ज्यादा है बस।
हम्म
बात तो स्टेट एक्स की हो रही है ना, वही जैसे कि आपने
करेक्ट
बोल रहे हैं कि पुणे की बात हो रही है तो पुणे में रहो, बाहर क्यों जाना है वहां से।
मैम आप अभी से
करेक्ट।
लॉयर्स पढ़ा रहे हो,
सॉरी,
आप अभी से लॉयर्स पढ़ा रहे हो, सब झगड़ा कर रहे हैं।
बट गुड दिस इज, ये सवाल थोड़ी आएगा एग्जाम में, ये सेम सवाल नहीं आने वाला है। द फैक्ट दैट यू कैन फाइंड फ्लॉज इन इट एंड यू कैन फाइंड logic in it or illogic in it, that is the skill that you're building, not just for the exam, even beyond exam. So that is important. This was a good argument. Appearing from other states, we don't know what is the cutoff, and we don't know if the cutoff is going to be guaranteed going to be less than 60% or 70%. So this cannot be concluded. Yep, that is a good argument. So as per that logic, we can then go for 2. Speculation is not enough of a logic to eliminate that, but this fact could be used to eliminate 1.
मैम अगेन सी है आई थिंक।
मैम इंडिपेंडेंट कॉज सी।
कुछ
Yes,
लेना देना
ma'am.
नहीं है।
C.
ना
मैम वो लोग सेकंड स्टेटमेंट इज प्योरली पर्सनल, उसमें कि ठीक है लोग प्रेफर नहीं करते हैं, बट फर्स्ट इज हॉलमार्क कंपलसरी हो गया तो उसका कोई रिलेशन ही नहीं है दोनों का, सेंस नहीं बना रहा आई थिंक।
Correct. Many people do not prefer to buy hallmark jewelry. Hallmark of gold jewelry has been made compulsory. Maybe that is why it is made compulsory, because people don't prefer to buy hallmark jewelry.
नहीं मैम, ये तो मैंने मम्मी से भी सुना है कि उनको पसंद नहीं है सच, तो पर्सनल चॉइस है ना।
The answer for this is second, but again, there's no valid argument. Many people do not prefer to buy hallmark jewelry, and that is why it has been made compulsory. That makes no sense. I mean, most of the questions need to be thoroughly reviewed and updated. Okay. I mean, the answer for this should be C, because one is preference and one is compulsion, and they have no correlation to each other. Okay. Preference can't be molded into compulsion without logical reasoning. Okay. If it was many or non-hallmark jewelry is fake, usually fake, then we could have gone for, okay, then hallmark jewelry should be, or all jewelry should be hallmark. Then we could have gone for this. This does not give a very strong foundation of for this. So C should be a better answer than B.
हेलो मैम।
Yes.
मैम लास्ट पिछले वाले क्वेश्चन में जो हॉलमार्क वाला था, तो ऐसा भी तो हो सकता है ना कि मोस्टली तो हॉलमार्क, जो नॉन हॉलमार्क ज्वेलरी है वो फेक होता है। सो
और मैं
गवर्नमेंट,
जीके नहीं लगा सकती फिर। मोस्टली फेक होता है, दैट वी डोंट नो।
तो मैम हो सकता है कि गवर्नमेंट बचाने के लिए इसको कंपलसरी कर दी।
आई मीन देन वी आर गोइंग अ लिटिल, थोड़ा assumptions ले रहे हैं
मैम
हम
ये
बहुत सारे।
सब्जेक्ट बहुत अजीब है मैम, बहुत अजीब सब्जेक्ट है, हर क्वेश्चन में कंट्रोवर्सी।
No, but in AILET you will not get such controversial questions. It's not happened so far. And when it happens, they usually take more than one answer as consideration.
मैम
So
बस
it won't happen.
if they give us controversial questions, we'll go to the high court.
Again, इस साल भी. This one is not controversial. I think this here we can have a unanimous answer.
मैम ऑप्शन डी।
None of them are strong.
नहीं मतलब 1 and 3 स्ट्रॉन्ग है, तो 1 and 3 वाला कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं है।
तो फिर 1, 2 and 3 होना चाहिए। 2 में क्या दिक्कत है?
मैम यहाँ पे लिखा है नो टीचर्स कैन नॉट बी ट्रीटेड एज अनरिलायबल विटनेसेस इंस्टेड ऑफ गार्डियन। तो मैम ये तो मतलब ऐसे बोल रहा है ना कि टीचर्स को फोर्स नहीं करना चाहिए बच्चों का मतलब जो भी है उसको सीक्रेट रखने के लिए।
What is
तो
the original statement? The school should ensure that all its teachers sign a confidentiality agreement that prevents them from releasing information, ideas, transaction details to third parties. This will prevent them from intimidating their students when they come to know of any sensitive information regarding the student. Okay, so this will allow them to not misuse the information against the students. This one is saying no, they should not sign the confidentiality agreement because teachers cannot be treated as unreliable witnesses. So the statement is assuming that teachers are going to gossip about students, that they're going to use these things, this information against these young students.
नहीं मैम दैट शुड नॉट हैपन, क्योंकि अगर वो टीचर जाके कोई कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट को बच्चों का डिटेल्स देती है तो अगेन दीज इंस्टीट्यूट्स विल कम हैरेसिंग दोस चिल्ड्रन। नहीं आपका बेटा वीक है और ये सब इसको कोचिंग चाहिए ऑल दिस, सो ऑप्शन डी होना चाहिए।
But you don't think the second one is a strong argument?
नो
Why not?
एज कंपेयर टू द स्टेटमेंट इट्स नॉट, स्टेटमेंट का कोई कॉन्ट्राडिक्टरी नहीं है, कॉन्ट्राडिक्ट कर रहा
अरे
है स्टेटमेंट।
कॉन्ट्रडिक्टरी तो करना है, नो बोल के वो कॉन्ट्रडिक्ट करेगा। दिस इज स्ट्रॉन्ग वीक, यू जस्ट हैव टू चेक क्या इसने लॉजिक सही लगाया है या नहीं। इसने नो बोल के क्या बात पते की गई है, आर्ग्यूमेंट अच्छा दिया है।
मैम वी कैनॉट, वी डोंट नो दैट ऑल टीचर्स आर रिलायबल, कोई टीचर हो ही सकता है पैसों के लिए बिक गया, सो दैट्स व्हाई।
तो कोई का केस है ना, दैट इज सम केस, दैट इज गोइंग टू बी इन एवरीथिंग, देयर इज अ बेल कर्व यूजुअली
तो मैम यहाँ पे टीचर्स
टू।
लिखा है ना, तो टीचर्स मतलब ऑल टीचर्स में कोई ना कोई एक भी अगर मोल हुआ तब तो वही दिक्कत हो जाएगा।
फाइन, वो अगेन वी आर गोइंग टू एक भी टीचर, look at things in general. In general, you are saying that your teachers, आप प्रिंसिपल हो और आप कह रहे हो कि मेरी स्कूल की टीचरें जो मैंने हायर की हैं, मैंने जिनका इंटरव्यू लिया है, वो अनरिलायबल है, वो डेटा इधर उधर करेंगी। Do you think that's
नहीं मैम ऐसा नहीं है, मतलब इवन कोई कॉन्फिडेंशियल एग्रीमेंट हम लोग अगर साइन भी कराते हैं टीचर्स से, तो दैट डजंट मीन कि दे आर अनरिलायबल, वो लोग रिलायबल है, बस दैट्स की मतलब एक सिक्योरिटी और है, दे आर
So you are,
रिलायबल।
Abhinav, you are now going subjective in a very subjective direction, which I told you you're not supposed to do. You are taking a yes stance and you're completely negating the no stance because you prefer the yes stance. You are even acknowledging that the second is a strong argument. You are saying कि हाँ ऐसा नहीं है, हो सकता है कि कुछ टीचरें अच्छी भी हैं। Therefore, you are acknowledging कि टीचर्स और स्टूडेंट में नेचुरल ट्रस्ट होता है। ये स्कूल अज्यूम कर रहा है कि नहीं है। Second statement is calling out this exact lack of trust. क्या इंडिपेंडेंटली अपना पर्सनल ओपिनियन साइड में रख के सोचो, इंडिपेंडेंटली, नॉट, डोंट कंपेयर इट, ओके, आई हैव टोल्ड यू इट्स नॉट अबाउट व्हिच आर्गुमेंट इज स्ट्रॉन्गर। इंडिपेंडेंटली, इज दिस गाय गिविंग यू अ लॉजिकल आर्गुमेंट? a strong, good logical argument? Yes
Yes.
or no?
Yes, ma'am.
The answer is all three are good. If 1 and 3 तो है ही, हाँ इनको करना चाहिए because underage students का जो अगर public data होगा, that could be damaging. Okay, it could lead to harassment. Absolutely. Yes is good. Even no is also good because it's saying that it is pointing to the teacher student relationship of trust that can be damaged if it is treated as merely transactional one. So it is making it a very transactional relationship कि तेरे में और मेरे में एक legal रिश्ता है, instead of overlooking a basic trust which usually does exist in a relationship like this. So second one is calling out this exact point of criticism, hence it is strong. So this is where I told you, I stressed upon this, no subjectivity. You might lean towards one specific stance and it could get very personal. You know, it could get like whatever city that you live in. Okay, Delhi is worse than Bombay, okay, or Bombay is better than Pune. Some personal issues could be tickled and you might head towards subjective direction, but that's what you're not supposed to do. Even as lawyers, you know that the person you're defending has done something wrong, but you still defend that individual by being completely objective because it is your role, it is your obligation. You have to build this objectivity inside you. Okay, so if independently, if I look at their arguments, if they were in a debate competition, everyone, all three of them would get an A plus for excellent arguments. So that is how you should look at the question. Okay, try one more.
I think इसका आंसर B है.
Only 1 and 3.
Yeah.
The present CEO, who has been accused of fraud, should be jailed and not just fired. He was caught in act of manipulating a client's team who divulged confidential information to him, which he later used to embezzle funds in his care. Okay, now if you read the sentence carefully, it says he should be jailed. He should, this should happen. Therefore, there is no final agreement or final conclusion judgment made. And you guys know, innocent until proven guilty. So this guy has not really been proven guilty. So do you think third one is a strong argument? No, he should not be jailed because the charges are still being investigated and yet to be proven. Is this a strong argument?
I mean,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, जब तक you don't know what exactly is the case entirely, you're only forming opinions and they don't have a backup proof. तो
Absolutely.
it's like वही बात है कि opinion तो कोई भी किसी भी बारे में कैसा भी दे सकता है ना. It's not like
Correct. Like it's not, and the original statement also says that there has been no conclusion. This one is just talking about a mere personal opinion. So third one is indeed strong.
And ma'am, first one I still support it because it is true that the stakeholders will obviously lose faith in the company. अगर justice नहीं होता है, so how are they supposed to trust the company for future collaborations?
Absolutely. So this one is also taking into the consideration that final judgment नहीं आया है.
Ma'am, number B, though no one cares about the supporters. Number B, so not at all a strong opinion.
मैम
Now his
supporters को तो
supporters
जो
भी
information मिलती है, even if it's rumors, they will believe it. तो उसका कुछ
Absolutely.
concrete वो है नहीं base.
डेफिनेशन ही सपोर्टर है. तुम गलत करोगे तो भी सपोर्ट करेंगे, सही करोगे तो भी सपोर्ट करेंगे. तो ये जो बोलेंगे तो ये तो जहां जाएंगे वो उसके पीछे जाएंगे. सो व्हाट दे फील इज नॉट अ वैलिड आर्ग्यूमेंट, सो दैट इज वीक. It is similar to taking someone's personal judgment into consideration. तो जिस रीजन से हमने इसे हाँ बोला, उसी रीजन से हमें ये वीक बोलना पड़ेगा. Excellent.
Ma'am, I think only one follows A option.
Yes, ma'am. Only one A follows. मतलब only one follows.
As per guidelines by the education department, the ideal teacher to student ratio is this. But अभी इतना है. आइडियल टीचर यानी एक टीचर 30 बच्चों को पढ़ाने चाहिए, बट अभी एक टीचर सिर्फ 20 बच्चों को पढ़ा रही है, तो आइडियल से कम है।
तो हम
ये
बेनिफिशियली है ना, मतलब इट्स नॉट कि समथिंग बैड इज टेकिंग प्लेस। अगर कम बच्चे हैं तो ठीक है, इट्स नॉट कि कुछ नुकसान हो रहा है, अटेंशन ज्यादा ही मिलेगी ना पर किड इफ
एग्जैक्टली
यू
मैम।
लुक एट इट।
हम्म
So it's
So the
not something
district,
the unit has to take an action upon. It's not something which is alarming for the students or it's hampering their education in any way.
so then you are agreeing to the second conclusion that district's education unit is taking
नो मैम,
adequate
नंबर वन,
measures.
हम नंबर वन नो, बिकॉज
नंबर
हम
वन।
मुझे नहीं लग रहा कि कोई यूनिट को मेजर लेने की जरूरत है। आई थिंक
एंड मैम
अप्रोप्रिएट गाइडलाइन सेट की है, बट अगर उससे कम है तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है उस चीज में, बिकॉज इट्स नॉट हैम्परिंग द यू नो स्टूडेंट किसी भी उसमें तरीके से, क्योंकि द लेसर द स्टूडेंट्स, टीचर पर स्टूडेंट उतना ही अटेंशन दे पाएगा ना।
See, again, that is your GK.
मैम एक और चीज है ना
आइडियल ये है,
मैम, ये जो सेकंड
आइडियल,
कंक्लूजन
हाँ।
है, जो सेकंड कंक्लूजन है उसको तो हम लोग कैसे कहाँ से डिराइव कर रहे हैं कि वो डिस्ट्रिक्ट ले भी सकती है नहीं भी ले सकती है, उसका तो हमें पता भी नहीं है।
हम्म
सो सेकंड वाला तो वैसे भी नहीं आएगा, कंसिडरेशन में नहीं है।
आइडियल एडिकेट मेजर्स लिए गए हैं, और लिए गए होते तो 120 नहीं होता, 130 होता रेशियो।
नो बट आई ऑल्सो फील मैम मेजर्स लेने की नीड कहाँ है? इट्स नॉट समथिंग विच हैज टू बी एक्टेड अपॉन इन अ वेरी अर्जेंट मैनर।
has to see. So we are misconstruing the idea. You think that this is ideal, but I cannot bring my subjectivity as per the question. This is ideal. They believe ज्यादा बच्चे
मैम
होने
दोनों
चाहिए
चीज
एक
ही
टीचर।
मैम हम लोग फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल ये कंक्लूड नहीं कर सकते कि 1:20 बहुत अच्छी चीज है। हो सकता है दूसरे डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में टीचर्स की कमी हो गई है, ये हम लोग
It is
कंक्लूड नहीं कर
bad.
सकते।
It is
और
bad, and
और
this is good.
सेकेंडली मैम, हम लोग ये भी कंक्लूड नहीं कर सकते कि डिस्ट्रिक्ट की एजुकेशन जो भी बोर्ड है वो कोई मेजर ले रही है कि नहीं, क्योंकि यहाँ पे कहीं लिखा नहीं है। तो नंबर ए ही होगा आंसर, ओनली वन फॉलोस।
The guideline set by the education department is appropriate.
हाँ
ये भी
मैम,
कैसे होगा?
एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट में सेट किया है तो मैम हैज टू बी अप्रोप्रिएट।
Has to be appropriate is now your GK.
यही मैं ये कंक्लूजन चलो
Um,
सेकंड
I think it's going to be neither of them. अब मुझे लग रहा है neither follows.
Neither होना चाहिए, दोनों opinionated हैं, दोनों
हाँ,
ही
दोनों अपना
judgmental हैं।
पर्सनल, वही एग्जैक्टली
हाँ
राइट,
मैम,
यू
दोनों जीके ले रहे हैं।
ये कैसे कह सकते हैं ना कि हम एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट ने जो अपनी गाइडेंस निकाली है वो अप्रोप्रिएट बिल्कुल है ही है, मतलब कंक्लूजन स्टेटमेंट से तो नहीं डिराइव हो रहा ना, कोई उसके पीछे
नहीं हो
कोई
रहा, करेक्ट।
फैक्ट सपोर्ट नहीं कर रहा उस चीज को।
Absolutely. And I told you right in the beginning, when it comes to questions like this, we need to stick to the scope. And in both of them, we are going out of the scope. Even this cannot be concluded that they're taking appropriate measures. So the answer for this should be neither. Okay, let us take a break from this. I think we have few minutes. Let me just take a quick analogies question. Do you know what
मैम इसका
analogies
आंसर क्या
are?
है?
इसका आंसर बी है, बट आई थिंक there's mistake here. बी भी नहीं हो सकता। इंडिया क्या रीजन दिया है? The statement gives 1 to 3 as ideal, 1 to 30 as ideal. This particular district has 1 on 20, which not only satisfies the guideline but exceeds also.
मैम they've taken it in a positive account कि अगर 1:20 है तो वो अच्छी बात है।
अच्छी
It's not,
बात है।
हाँ।
So we have misunderstood the question. The ideal is this, but in this district it is okay. So this is a good thing. Conclusion 2 can be concluded. All right. So if we fix our logic like that,
पर मैम
so
दोनों ही ऐसा नहीं है कि दोनों के बारे में हमें कुछ नहीं पता है, एक अप्रोप्रिएट यूज कर रहा है, क्या पता अप्रोप्रिएट ना हो, और
either
दूसरा दूसरा अगर डिस्ट्रिक्ट कुछ कर ही ना रहा हो, भाई जो चल रहा है अच्छा चल रहा है चलने दो। तो
नहीं, बट
दोनों
वो
के
ही कह रहा है ना कि अगर तुम्हारा आइडियल से भी बेहतर है तो तुम कुछ अच्छा ही काम कर रहे हो, इसलिए उस हिसाब से उसने सेकंड कंक्लूड किया है।
जैसे अगर अब इसके उससे चले तो ये हो सकता है ना कि हम जितने भी मतलब स्टूडेंट्स हैं, टोटल स्टूडेंट्स हैं, तो उनमें से भी मतलब 1:30 का होना चाहिए, मतलब कि हर टीचर के अंडर 30 स्टूडेंट्स मतलब होना ही चाहिए। उससे अगर हम कम भी होगा तो चलेगा, बट 30 से एक्सीड नहीं करना चाहिए, जिस वजह से
हम्म
अटेंशन कम हो जाए स्टूडेंट्स का।
Okay, somebody actually did say that, and I was the one who nudged them off. They were right. They said
मैंने
that
कहा था
मेरी गलती है. I'm so sorry. I was a purist. I was sticking to the question. मैंने कहा ये लोग मानते हैं तो फिर सही होगा. But no, they did take into the general conception of this is a better ratio than this. Although this is suggested, but
Ma'am, don't you
this
think these questions are too controversial?
they are controversial. They are difficult. They are purposely difficult because I mean they are AILET level. So I mean I got the difficult questions on purpose. But I'm glad now you'll find the AILET questions relatively easier. Given that
मैम
now you
ये
can
क्वेश्चंस
find
पढ़ के इट फील्स लाइक कि हम लोग एसएससी का पेपर दे रहे हैं, एसएससी या बैंकिंग का पेपर दे रहे हैं बैठ के.
they are banking level questions. That is right. But I think the analogies you will find easy. Let's quickly do analogies. This is odd one out, not analogy. Out of the given words, which one is odd one out?
मैम डॉग.
Why?
बड़ा है वो थोड़ा साइज में.
No.
चिकन.
Why
Chicken,
chicken?
ma'am.
Why?
मैम चिकन बिकॉज उसके 2 टांगे हैं बाकी सबकी 4 है.
No.
मैम कॉन्टेक्स्ट क्या है, मतलब किस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में अलग है?
Raccoon has 4 this thing.
Yes, ma'am. Raccoon, matlab it uses 2, but it has 4. Dog uses 4. Squirrel has 4. Only chicken has 2, I think. I mean, I'm sure, but
Chicken also has arms, na? So chicken also has limbs.
then they're feathers, no?
Rac-
You can't use them to
Raccoon
walk.
can
और मैम फेदर्स में भी तो हड्डी है.
But walk थोड़ी करता है. Okay, raccoon तो यार चारों
मैम
पैर पे walk कर
स्क्विरल हो
सकता है.
सकता है बिकॉज वो पेड़ पे चढ़ सकता है. डॉग, रकून एंड चिकन नहीं चढ़ सकते.
रकून भी
चढ़
तो
सकता
चढ़
Chicken
सकता
is
है.
a bird.
मैम चिकन इज अ बर्ड, यस.
No, chicken is not a mammal and others are. So one big
बायो
takeaway.
नहीं है मैम.
Big takeaway, odd one out is also pretty risky and it's going to use a lot of GK. So I mean, here the marks are almost not guaranteed. Like the other arguments, like chicken walks on 2 legs, is also a valid argument, and it has feathers. So therefore, it has only 2 feet. The others have 4 feet. Even that is a valid argument. But see, they have taken this into consideration. So odd one out is a very risky question. What about Bolo?
Ma'am, fern.
मैम ट्यूलिप.
Why fern?
Ma'am, मैं color पे जा रही हूँ. Now, I am taking color into account because as far as I know, I might be wrong. Ferns are usually green.
What are ferns?
Ma'am, ferns are like, I mean, how do I put it up?
मैम फर्न होगा क्योंकि ब्रायोफाइट में आते हैं और
they're
है क्या वो? Basically क्या है?
Ma'am, they're green and they don't bear flowers. Basically, उनमें
Yeah.
फूल नहीं होता.
Correct. Daisy, orchid, fern, tulip ये सब plants हैं. But daisy, orchid, tulip में फूल
मैम
उगते हैं.
मैम
यही
फर्न
वाले.
तो पत्ता है मैम.
हाँ, फर्न पौधे का नाम
पत्ता
है.
है तो इसलिए ही तो ब्रायोफाइट में आते हैं, इसलिए फ्लावर नहीं होते उनमें.
हाँ. So the odd one out is fern because it doesn't flower where the others do.
मैम ऐसे कितने क्वेश्चंस आएंगे ये ऑड वन आउट के?
There's no fixed number of questions कि
फिर भी
इतने ही
मैक्सिमम
आए हैं.
मिल्की
आ
में.
सकता है 1 से
अब
2
इसमें मिल्की वे है
एक से
बिकॉज
दो
वो
ही है.
गैलेक्सी है.
या एक
बाकी
भी नहीं.
सारे
मैम
सन
मिल्की
साइंस
वे.
हैं.
मैम सारे ज़ोडिएक साइंस है. एक मिल्की वे आएगा.
Scorpius, Capricorn, Libra are zodiac signs, fine, but how are they related to space?
Ma'am, they're not.
मैम
तभी
ये
तो
लोग
Milky Way
स्टार्स
is the odd one out, ना? Milky Way
मैम.
doesn't fit into the
स्कॉर्पियस,
category of
कैप्रिकॉर्न और
zodiacs.
मैम ये लोग, ये बाकी 3 स्टार्स है और मिल्की वे गैलेक्सी है.
Ah, they're constellations, and Milky Way is a galaxy.
Ma'am, steel.
Steel.
स्टील
Steel is
स्टील.
what? Is it a metal?
अलॉय. अलॉय.
सलोए.
Analogy. How are engineer and machine related?
Ma'am, medicine.
हाँ मैम मेडिसिन. हाँ
right? It is specialization. They study machines, doctors study medicine.
मैम स्मोक
This results in this. So what results in pollution?
स्मोक
So odd one out is risky, but analogies is easier. But analogy also goes in a GK direction, so could be
मैम
difficult.
ऑड वन आउट में एक दो ही ना आएगा.
एक भी नहीं आ सकता है. There's no fixed number of questions. Maybe
मतलब
एक
मैक्सिमम एक
selection है.
दो ना.
But ma'am, in the paper, would it be like जैसे आपने वो चिकन वाला क्वेश्चन दिया था, it did not have any precursor जिसके बेसिस पे हम डिफरेंशिएट करें. इसमें वो एक
Correct.
वो एनालॉजी बना रखी है, तो आई थिंक एलेट में तो एनालॉजी बना के देते ही है ना, सो हाफ वर्क इज डन.
Odd one out में वैसे भी there's no precursor, so you have to do it yourself. You have to use your GK. So if it's not common in AILET, it's definitely coming in MHCET. And I know most of you are giving MHCET, so at least it serves as a revision for then, if not now. But आया तो ठीक ही है, कम टाइम में निकल जाएगा ऐसा सवाल, बहुत पढ़ना नहीं पड़ेगा. ओके
हाँ मैम.
स्ट्रेंथनिंग वीकनिंग वाले क्वेश्चन एक दो करा दो.
क्या कराना है?
स्ट्रेंथनिंग वीकनिंग वाले क्वेश्चन
लू अभी चलेगा? आई हैव सम क्वेश्चंस.
आंटी मैम करवा दीजिए.
मैम ये आपने भेजा नहीं था ग्रुप में, भेज दो ना प्लीज.
मैम
सेम
हाँ
पीपीटी,
मैम पीपीटी हाँ मैम
सेम क्वेश्चंस.
मैम क्वेश्चंस नहीं, वो थ्योरी भेज दो कि वो जो
थ्योरी
था ना
बेस्ड
पिछले वाले क्लास का, इफ इधर ओनली,
एनालिटिकल
जो भी एनालिटिकल का. हाँ
एनालिटिकल का इसका नहीं चाहिए, क्रिटिकल का.
और दोनों
क्रिटिकल का भी
चाहिए.
जो भी थ्योरी है ना मैम भेज दो प्लीज.
ठीक है, I'll combine the theory and send questions. You guys do new ones, okay? People who want to solve strengthening weakening, this is one weakening question.
Ma'am, your screen is still stuck on the analogy.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. I changed the presentation.
मैम ऑप्शन डी ही होगा, ऑल ऑफ द अबव.
हाँ डी होगा मैम, ओनली सही है.
Only B?
मैम ऑल ऑफ द अबव.
Ma'am, I think it's going to be B only. मतलब, I don't know.
What am I supposed to strengthen here? First step is to find the conclusion.
मैम फर्स्ट वी हैव टू स्ट्रेंथन कि बहुत ज्यादा पैसा खर्चा होता है, लाइक एक मतलब स्ट्रॉन्ग फाइनेंशियल वो चाहिए, पिलर चाहिए. तो पहला वाला मार्केटिंग जिसके लिए फाइनेंशियल रिसोर्स चाहिए, पहला वाला सही बोल रहा है. दूसरा वाला टेक्नोलॉजी को लेकर बोल रहा है, वो भी सही है. और आखिरी वाला एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजीज, उसके लिए भी पैसा लगेगा, तो वो भी सही है.
Absolutely. Which of the following would strengthen the shift in focus? Why are they shifting the focus? Because to to be the leading player in the area, a lot of money is required, which they don't have. Hence, they move to services. Okay. In product development. सिर्फ प्रोडक्ट बेचने खरीदने में का सिर्फ वो रखेंगे, लिमिटेड रखेंगे, तो बहुत कम खर्चा है. सॉरी, बहुत ज्यादा खर्चा है. And less profit. So for more profit, most companies shift to services. Why do they shift to services? I need extra premise. Because marketing में बहुत ज्यादा खर्चा जाता है. Exactly what the argument was saying. Strong financial backup लगता है. Exactly what the argument is saying. Need money to make necessary changes. Exactly what the argument is saying. Financial feasibility. So all of them are strengthening the argument. So in weakening strengthening, I think language could also probably hinder. What exactly is financial feasibility? What is the meaning of the word feasibility? Okay, only then could you solve a question like this. Only then could you understand they're talking about crisis. So that could be a potential problem. And AILET language is also relatively difficult. ठीक है?
मैम एलेट को मैम यही चाहिए कि भाई बने बनाए लॉयर्स आ जाए, पढ़े चले जाए.
Correct. करेक्ट, आई मीन बट एक ही कॉलेज है तो उसका ऑब्वियसली एप्लीकेंट ज्यादा है तो कट ऑफ भी ज्यादा जाता है, फिर लेवल ऑफ डिफिकल्टी भी ज्यादा
मैम
ही आता
25,000 स्टूडेंट्स देंगे मैम इस साल
है। एग्जैक्टली कितनी सीटों के लिए?
मैम 61 तो कट ऑफ थी लास्ट ईयर की जनरल के लिए।
और सीटें कितनी हैं एनएलयू दिल्ली में?
120 120
120 है मैम, जिसमें भी रिजर्वेशन भी है।
मैम 120 के अंदर रिजर्वेशन भी डाल दी है, मोटा मोटा लगा लो 100 के अराउंड, 90 के अराउंड बचती है।
मैम इनमें
प्रोबेबिलिटी क्या है?
मैनेजमेंट कोटा होता है क्या?
क्या?
इनमें मैनेजमेंट कोटा होता है?
आई डोंट नो व्हाट इज मैनेजमेंट कोटा।
मैम यू पे
पैसे देंगे
एक्स्ट्रा मनी
एडमिशन।
एंड देन गेट अ सीट, इट्स लाइक मेडिकल और जेई में होता है।
डायरेक्ट
नहीं
एडमिशन।
यही में नहीं होता है, मेडिकल में होता
नाइस
फाइन भाई, आई एम
प्रेसिडेंस।
सॉरी, आई टेक इट बैक।
नो, नाइस प्रेसिडेंस यू आर सेटिंग फॉर योरसेल्फ एज अ लॉयर। इलीगल हरकतें पहले से ही।
है।
मैम
मैम मेरे को
इलीगल नहीं है,
मैम
बस
मोस्ट
इज
ऑफ माय
नॉट,
फ्रेंड्स
पैसे दे
यही
के सीट
बोलते हैं
लेना
मैम।
इलीगल नहीं है।
इट्स लाइक अ वेल नोन प्रोसेस। नहीं मैम, इट्स नॉट
मैम
इलीगल।
इट्स कॉल्ड डोनेशन
सीटें,
मैम।
हाँ यार, अगर
डोनेशन इज नो, दैट
आई
इज
डोंट थिंक इट्स डोनेशन भाई। ठीक है, फाइन, इट्स वन वे टू से इट।
there's something about NRI quota also. So some NRI seats are sold
एग्जैक्टली दैट इज
or
व्हाट मैंने,
But
sponsored.
हाँ
imagine मैम
एग्जैक्टली।
they have these NRIs have so good colleges abroad and still they are coming to India सीट खाने के
Yeah.
लिए।
सही में सही में सर, सीट खाने के लिए आते हैं।
Hmm.
ऊपर से मैम 70-75 साल हो गया मैम, अभी तक SC ST हटाया नहीं है ये लोग।
मैम वो लोग भी हमारे बारे में यही कहते होंगे कि इंडियंस भी सीट खाने के लिए आते हैं यहाँ पे।
मैम
हम तो ज्यादा जाते हैं, उनसे ज्यादा तो
और
हम
क्या।
जाते हैं।
मैम आई विल
लेकिन वो
नेवर स्टॉप आर्ग्यूइंग अबाउट
उनका तो
हाउ
रेवेन्यू भी जनरेट
रिजर्वेशन
होता है
हटनी
उनसे।
चाहिए।
मैम
क्या
ऑफ
करनी
कोर्स
चाहिए?
मैम रिजर्वेशन
रिजर्वेशन
हटनी
हटनी
चाहिए।
चाहिए मैम। इट
मैम
हैज
देर
नो लॉजिक बैक्ड अप एनी मोर, बिकॉज ठीक है उस टाइम पे इट वाज अ वेरी बिग इश्यू अनटचेबिलिटी
Yeah,
का। बट अब
yeah.
मैम नाउ पीपल आर अवेयर, मतलब रिलेटिवली मोर अवेयर।
मैम
तो आप
मेनी
किसी
ऑफ
को
माय
कॉलेज में
फ्रेंड्स
सीटें दे रहे हो ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ व्हाट कास्ट दे बिलोंग टू, इज समथिंग वी कांट कंट्रोल। You rather make a
Hmm.
better system for assessing. Maybe you provide
Hmm.
them education and tell them कि ठीक है हम तुम्हें एजुकेशन फ्री कर देते हैं या कुछ उसका
Hmm.
प्रोवाइड करते हैं, लेकिन तुम
Hmm.
compete तो सेम कंपटीशन से करो ना
मैम
यार।
एग्जैक्टली मैम दिस इज एक्चुअली वायलेटिंग राइट टू इक्वालिटी मैम।
जेंजी
इक्वालिटी कहाँ है?
रेवोल्यूशन करना पड़ेगा, जेंजी
आई थिंक
रेवोल्यूशन।
फाइनेंशियल कंडीशन पर रिजर्वेशन देना इज स्टिल बेटर, बट
मैम
PWS तो है ही।
मैम
हाँ
क्रीमी लेयर के
थोड़ा
नीचे जो है उनको दो भाई रिजर्वेशन, बट भाई जो SC ST थे 70 साल पहले, अभी करोड़ों
Hmm.
की प्रॉपर्टी है, उनको क्यों देना
यस
है
तो
रिजर्वेशन?
मैं बताऊं
एससी
क्यों
कास्ट
देना
के
है?
लिए भी बहुत सारे
आई टेल
ऐसे
यू, आई
कंडीशन जो
थिंक
ताकि
इट्स अ
देश
वेरी,
डूब जाए।
अच्छी है।
नहीं, it's a very popular misconception that these reservations are given for financial elevation. No, they're aware that certain SC/ST families are financially well off. It is not about financial elevation, it is about representation. How many teachers in your school are from SC/ST background? Okay, how many faculty that is teaching you right now is SC/ST? How many people you know in your father's office, in your mother's office, that are scheduled caste or scheduled tribe?
हेलो मैम,
What they are? Hmm.
इफ यू रिमेम्बर रिसेंटली मिस्टर राहुल गांधी ने एक कमेंट किया था कि इंडियन आर्मी में भी SC ST कोटा शुरू करना चाहिए। इफ यू
Hmm.
रिमेम्बर दैट।
So the aim is कि जब मैं कोई सोशल स्पेस में जाऊं तो मुझे SC/ST का रिप्रेजेंटेशन ज्यादा दिखे। अभी मुझे डोमिनेंट कास्ट का रिप्रेजेंटेशन दिखता है और मुझे अभी भी लोअर कास्ट लोग कुछ सर्कल्स में नहीं दिखते हैं, बहुत ही कम नंबर में
मैम
दिखते हैं।
रिजर्वेशन इज नॉट बैड मैम, पर रिजर्वेशन उनको
हम्म।
देना चाहिए जिनको जरूरत है, जो क्रीमी लेयर के नीचे है,
हम्म।
जिनको ज्यादा
मैम
एजुकेशन।
आई थिंक रिजर्वेशन एज अ कॉन्सेप्ट इज वेरी एक्सेप्टेबल एंड यस होना चाहिए रिप्रेजेंटेशन, बिल्कुल ऑब्वियसली इक्वालिटी इज समथिंग दैट शुड बी देयर, बट देन
या
द प्रोसीजर एंड द क्राइटेरिया फॉर देम इट्स रॉन्ग बेसिकली, क्योंकि हम अगर 99% पे नीट में हमें मिलती हैं सीटें, दे गेट इट ऑन अ वेरी वेरी लो स्कोर। तो मुझे
एग्जैक्टली मैम।
समझ नहीं आता कि
मैम लास्ट
हाउ इज इट गिविंग देम अ लीवे कि तुम कम मार्क्स ले आओ even when you're financially stable, and then you get a college जहाँ पे हम उनसे ट्रिपल टाइम एफर्ट करके we are making our place and they don't have to fight as much for it.
because they don't want more people from your community because there's enough people from upper or middle class.
Ma'am, one thing
It's
which
not
I'm
about
not
financial also. It's they have enough people from whatever you are, Brahmin, Kshatriya, even though it's not even used anymore, but they have enough representation of
Ma'am, one
those.
thing which I'm not able to understand is why is this community or why is this thing coming up? मतलब हाँ जिनके पास नहीं है resources you should give them the priority. पर जिनके पास सारे resources है बस they just have a certificate. No, I am an SC or I am an
Yes,
ST.
ma'am. The
They are
aim
getting
should
the
be zero
this,
poverty.
this
But
Can we start? Did everyone grab a notebook?
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. Raise your hands if you're doing these concepts for the first time. Concepts like syllogs, Venn diagrams, logical consistency, seating arrangement, coding, decoding. Disha is doing it for the first time. There's a lot of you who are doing it for the first time. Okay. Now, treat AR exactly like mathematics. You know how you practice a good number of sums to get your concepts well? Treat it exactly like that. The number of questions we are doing today are not enough. Okay, because there are a lot of concepts. It will be a little rushed, but again, feel free to interrupt whenever you have any doubts. I will discuss the approach, I will discuss the strategy, I will take up 2 examples each of the question type. But as soon as the session is over, or both the sessions are over, practice a good number of questions of analytical reasoning, especially because this is a question type that only comes with practice, exactly like quant, exactly like mathematics. ठीक है? Maybe conclusion, assumption, strengthening, weakening में इतना practice नहीं करना पड़ेगा, but इन सारे सवालों में practice लगता है. ठीक है? And people who fear mathematics, people who are giving the law entrance exam exactly so they can run away from mathematics. Now, there are certain concepts in AR which are completely independent of mathematics. They have nothing to do with numbers and calculations. Okay? Actually, majority of the topics are exactly like that. So I'll let you know. Okay, like there are certain topics that where you might have to do certain calculations. So you can put them at last, okay, or skip them. But if you're good at language, if you're good at English, even semi good at English, there are certain concepts of AR that you can cater to. ठीक है? सबसे पहला वाला है syllogs. ठीक है? I will take up one by one. Make sure to sit with a notebook and make the diagrams and solve the sums with me. Syllogs, Venn diagrams. Now they are representation of data in a diagram form. Guys, mute your mics until and unless you have a question, only then unmute. Okay, these are Venn diagrams. They are represented by a circle. Why a circle? Why not a square or a triangle? Because these have sides, and a shape with sides could make things complicated. That is why we represent it in circles. It is nothing but normal verbal data represented through these circular diagrams. Now, these are actually rough work. This is something that you will be making in your notebook to make your conclusions, okay? To solve, to check your conclusion if they follow or if they don't follow. Okay, so that entire thing, when multiple circles, when multiple diagrams are happening, that is called a set. Now, one set is a distinction or a collection of different objects. For example, all dogs are mammals. Okay, all dogs are cats. Some mammals are dogs. So if I put all of them in one diagram, that is a full set. So Venn diagram is a physical representation of this set. For example, look at this silly little sentence, all boys love to play football. Okay, now I have to logically represent this. Now, again, all my old students would remember when it comes to LR, your GK and your subjectivity has to be left back home. इधर जीके का काम नहीं है, इधर आपकी सब्जेक्टिविटी, आपका पर्सनल बायस, उसका भी काम नहीं है, क्योंकि the statements for syllogs are very silly. They are very, all pens are pencils, all erasers are sharpeners, all birds are dogs. You get silly statements like this. So you don't have to really spend time here. take them as variables if you want. So here you can take B and F if you like. So that is not what we are concerned with. We are concerned with representing it in a Venn diagram. So all boys love to play football can be represented like this. So you make a bigger circle, okay, representing everybody who loves to play football, right? Everyone. Now this includes girls, this includes men and women, right? So you make a bigger circle of everyone who loves to play football. And then you put a very small, because all of the boys love to play football. So all of the boys' entirety will come inside of it. Okay, so you take a bigger circle. Now this is everyone who loves to play football. Now the statement says all of the boys, so you make a big circle or a small circle, but you don't take up the entire area. Don't make two consecutive circles. Don't make it up like this. And you are saying, when you're making two consecutive overlapping circles, then you are saying कि जितने भी लोग फुटबॉल खेलते हैं वो सिर्फ लड़के ही हैं. आपने ये तो कह दिया कि सारे के सारे लड़के फुटबॉल खेलते हैं या पसंद करते हैं, पर आपने ये भी कह दिया कि जितने भी लोग पसंद करते हैं वो भी लड़के हैं, जो गलत है. ठीक है, सिर्फ हमें इतना मालूम है कि सारे लड़कों को पसंद है फुटबॉल, तो हम बाकी का स्पेस थोड़ा छोड़ेंगे फॉर अदर people. So this is one way to represent it. Then this is the all case. Now what if there are only some boys who love to play football? How do I represent this? सबको नहीं पसंद है, ठीक है, पूरे ये सारे बॉयज हैं मेरे, सिर्फ इतने को पसंद है, चाहे बाकी को क्रिकेट पसंद है, हॉकी पसंद है, ठीक है, table tennis pasand hai, other things. So I'm going to leave space for other elements and I'm only going to intersect some area. This one represents some boys love to play football. This is everyone who loves to play football and this is the boys. And then there is some intersection. Now, don't worry about the size of intersection. ठीक है, कि मैं इतना सा करूं, कि मैं इतना करूं. Make legible diagrams which you can easily understand. ठीक है, सम का मतलब इतना भी हो सकता है. So don't worry about all of that. Then the third case is only boys love to play football. इसका मतलब no one else except boys love to play football. Only boys love to play football. यानी फुटबॉल खेलने वाले सिर्फ लड़के हैं, क्योंकि सिर्फ लड़कों को ही फुटबॉल खेलना पसंद है. लड़कियों को नहीं पसंद, आदमियों को नहीं पसंद, औरतों को नहीं पसंद, बच्चों को नहीं पसंद, सिर्फ लड़कों को. तो दिस इज इनवर्स ऑफ ऑल. ये इसका उल्टा है. सी, तो ओनली इज इनवर्स ऑफ द ऑल केस. हियर यू आर गोइंग टू represent it opposite. Here the boys is going to be a bigger circle and everyone who plays football is going to be inside it, because everybody who loves to play football are all boys. So boys वो पूरा area ले लेंगे. But it does not say every boy plays football. So I'm still going to leave space for some other elements probably. Okay. Then all boys love to play football. All girls love to play football. Now, how do I make this? I make a bigger circle and this is for football. Okay, this is everyone who loves football. Now this one says all the boys love. So मैं सारे के सारे boys को अंदर ले लूंगी. And then all the girls love. मैं सारे के सारे girls को अंदर ले लूंगी. Right? This is how you can represent this. Now there's no interconnection right now between boys and girls. There are two separate elements. Right? Then some boys love to play football. Some girls love to play football. Some. So this is everyone who loves to play football. Some boys and some girls. Then all boys love to play football. Some girls are boys. See, now it's getting a little confusing. Now there is connection between boys and girls instead of girls and football. इसलिए हम वेन डायग्राम बनाते हैं, क्योंकि ये स्टेटमेंट्स अभी और भी कंफ्यूजिंग होने वाले हैं. जैसे इधर तो सिर्फ 2 हैं, 1 and 2. आपको इसके 3, 4 तक भी स्टेटमेंट जा सकते हैं. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can get up to 5 to 6 elements also to represent in a Venn diagram. That is why always make a Venn diagram. All boys love to play football will come inside everyone who plays football, क्योंकि सारे के सारे लड़के ही खेलते हैं फुटबॉल, सबको ही पसंद है. फिर क्या था? Some girls love to play football. Now, some girls love to play football. Now here you can make the diagram in multiple ways. मैंने कहा था जब आप इंटरसेक्शन बना रहे हैं तो आप कोई साइज नहीं लेंगे कि स्पेसिफिक इतना सही लेते हैं या हाफ सर्कल ले लेते हैं, सम में स्पेसिफिक नहीं है. तो जब मैं कह रही हूँ सम गर्ल्स लव टू प्ले फुटबॉल, तो मैं एक डायग्राम ऐसे बना सकती हूँ और एक डायग्राम ऐसे भी बन सकता है जहां बॉयज और गर्ल्स का इंटरसेक्शन हो रहा है. Now this opens the room for possibilities. There is a possibility that some girls might be boys. Right? Confusing? But that is why make all the combinations and permutations. जितने भी combination बने. एक ये तो obvious है, ये directly दिया है. But ये भी एक possibility है कि maybe इनका भी intersection हो रहा है क्योंकि सारे के सारे boys अंदर हैं. ठीक है? What if I made it like this? Right? Where I covered like almost 90% of the circle with boys. तो इधर तो होगा ही गर्ल्स का कहीं ना कहीं इंटरसेक्शन. So this opens the room for probability. Now here there are two conclusions possible. One, girls love football. Sorry, some girls love football. And then some girls are boys. ऐसे ही आपको सवाल पूछा जाएगा. ठीक है, पहले आपको इतना दिया जाएगा रिप्रेजेंट करने को, ये, फिर आपको नीचे पूछे जाएंगे दो कंक्लूजन दिए जाएंगे, कंक्लूजन नंबर 1 and number 2, and then they'll ask you which one follows, which one logically follows. Now this is where language comes in. Some girls love football, पसंद ही है उनको. हाँ, दोनों केस में पसंद है. देखो G1 में भी फुटबॉल और गर्ल्स का इंटरसेक्शन है, G2 में भी गर्ल्स और फुटबॉल का इंटरसेक्शन है, यानी गर्ल्स डेफिनेटली लव फुटबॉल. So this one will definitely follow. But look at the next one. Some girls are boys. R का मतलब definitely है ही. कुछ लड़कियां लड़के हैं ही, पक्का है ही. Is it अभी like is it 100% sure? How do we know 100% sure if in all combinations and permutation this is happening? It's not happening in all combination. It's only happening here. It is a possibility that some girls might be boys, that the circle might intersect with the boys. So this one will not follow because this is heading toward the definite direction. Okay, if this was written as some girls may be boys, now it follows because it is indeed a possibility, right? This is a possibility. So there are two probable tones, a definite tone and an indefinite tone. In definite tone, you will find words like are and is, मतलब ये है ही. In indefinite tone, you will find words like may or might, यानी हो सकता है. So that is where you will take in your possibilities. Right now, possibilities are the ones that are not going to be same in all your different combinations and permutation. So try to make these different combinations like this instead of making one common diagram. Like this is very confusing. That is why I suggest students to make it separate circles. So G1, G2 alag-alag banao. Okay, so far so good. I will summarize all of this in a second. But so far, any problems?
नहीं, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है.
ठीक है, it looks intimidating, but it is one of the easiest topics. अगर इसका hold आ गया, तो as I mentioned, people who specifically fear mathematics and numbers, this has nothing to do with maths and numbers. It's honestly just language based. ठीक है, now look at the next one. Disha, I don't know about the 150 method. I'm not sure what your mentor has taught. If you feel comfortable with the 150 method, you stick to it. Don't change your methods last moment. Don't change your strategy last moment. Okay? People who have their own methods fixed and they've been solving questions so far according to that, अभी मत बदलो, अभी time नहीं है. ठीक है? Next, all cows are white. All white things are chalk. I told you. Absolutely silly, goofy statements. ये confuse करेंगे तो variable ले लेना. So all of the cows are white. So all of the cows are going to be inside white things. So I'll make a bigger circle of white and then I'll take a small cow. Then all white things are chalk. सारे के सारे white things chalk हैं ही. All cows are chalk. Is this a definite statement or an indefinite statement? Means is this a probability or 100% sure है कि सारी की सारी cows chalk है ही?
Ma'am,
Now,
surety.
there is surety. There is no other combination and permutation you can make where cows are not going to be inside chalk. हर बार अंदर ही आएगा. So you can be 100% sure that all cows are chalk. This is the conclusion that follows. Now, if this was written is in the form of all cows may be chalk, अगर ये सेम स्टेटमेंट एक पॉसिबिलिटी की फॉर्म में लिखा होता तो आप डू नॉट फॉलो में टिक करते, क्योंकि ये एक पॉसिबिलिटी नहीं एक डेफिनेट आउटकम है. सो हियर दिस इज वेयर थिंग्स मैटर ऑन द डेफिनेट एंड द इनडेफिनेट साइड. Okay, now sometimes the relationship is based on general knowledge. So they've not written all men are women, all women are human beings. No, it is based on general knowledge where you might have to represent these in a Venn diagram. So men, women, human beings, you have to represent them through your GK. Very easy, right? All human beings and then men and women inside it. There is no intersection between the two separate elements. Then daisies, India, countries. Now daisies have nothing to do with India and countries. India is one of the country. It's going to come in all of the countries. And then daisies is a set of flower and has nothing to do with India and countries. So it's going to be a separate element. Bread, butter and jam. How do you think this will be represented? Tell me verbally.
Ma'am, two circles inside a bigger circle.
Yes, ma'am. Bread के अंदर ये butter और jam.
Then you are saying कि all butter are bread, all jam are bread.
No, ma'am, but we use the butter and jam in the bread. So
On
bread
the
will
bread, right?
Yeah, right.
But Syllogis कैसे काम करता है? All A are B, some A are B, some C are D, right? So you have to use it like that. Some dash are dash. So some bread are butter, some jam are bread. Are they? Do these elements have any relationship? Do they overlap in identity?
No, ma'am.
So this is how you're going to represent them in three separate circles. Then women, babies, teacher. Some women are teachers, but babies have nothing to do with women or teachers, so they are separate elements. Okay, अगर female होता, women का मतलब ही होता है adult girls, but अगर female होता तो फिर baby अंदर इधर आ सकता था, right? Because female babies can be male and female. Yes, Anna. You raised your hand.
Ma'am, I've dropped a question in the chat box which states about majority. So I really wanted to know how do we approach questions which mention a majority in them? Because then it's not all, it's not some. How are we supposed to go about it?
A majority is definitely not all, but a majority can be some. So here you follow the sum case, right? So a majority of spoons are forks is similar to some or most spoons are forks. And again, I told you there is no fixed area, surface area. We're not calculating anything. So some and most, they're the same. They are just not all. So anything that is not all is some. So majority, minority, all of that is some. Okay, so to quickly summarize the 4 permutations possible. Number 1 is all A are B, represented as 2 ways. Okay, I do not recommend this. This is confusing. So chuck this, go for this one. Easier to understand. All A are B और B मतलब सारा का सारा A B के अंदर आएगा. So smaller circle A, bigger circle B. Then no A are B यानी दोनों में कोई रिश्ता नहीं है. So separate elements. Some A are B. Okay, so you're going to, again, I don't recommend this. Some A are B, you make a small connection between the two. Take how much area you want to. Then last is some A are not B, the negation of it. Now some A are not B could be the same diagram. Okay, could be the same diagram. Again, I don't recommend this. Just make it similar to some A are B, where you can see some A are not B. This area. Some A are not B, but some A are B. Hakina. So this one talks about R.
मैम बट ये तो बोला ही नहीं है उसमें कि कुछ ए बी हैं, जैसे मतलब यही तो सिर्फ बताया ना, तो दो डिस्टिंक्ट अलग अलग नहीं बनेंगे क्या, मतलब ऐसे
बन सकते हैं, क्यों नहीं? ये भी सम ए आर नॉट बी है, बिल्कुल बन सकते हैं, क्योंकि इफ ऑल बी आर नॉट ए देन सम बी आर ऑल्सो नॉट ए. हागी ना? If no pens are pencils, then obviously some pens will also not be pencils. Correct? But representation में थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम आ सकता है, इसलिए एक सेफर वे है ये वाला करने का. ठीक है? In the case of sum, if you're doing this, then you're completely segregating the elements. So ये थोड़ा confusing हो जाएगा फिर, इसलिए सेफ्टी के लिए you prefer this diagram, but yes, this is also possible. वैसे ही इस केस में same, for even sum के केस में you can go and make this diagram ना. When I'm saying some A are B, and if I say all A are B, then obviously अगर पूरा का 100% A is B, then obviously 85% of A is also B. So same diagram can be made for this case as well. But we will draw the safest, where we can make multiple permutations easily. So these diagrams are relatively easier, less confusing.
मेजॉरिटी के केस में सम वो जो है वो यूज होगा, मतलब थर्ड पॉइंट.
करेक्ट, यही परम्यूटेशंस पॉसिबल है. फिर एक और है चौथा, पांचवा, वो ओनली का, ओनली ए आर बी. इसका मतलब सिर्फ ए ही बी है, ओनली ए आर बी. नाउ दिस इज गोइंग टू बी कंप्लीटली इनवर्स ऑफ ऑल ए आर बी. इसको उल्टा कर दो बस. So only is going to be like this. So here all A are B inside, but that one says only A are B. यानी B ना ही C है, B ना ही D है, B ना ही Z है, B सिर्फ A है. See, only A is equals to B. तो B पूरा का पूरा A के अंदर आएगा. Just the opposite of all. Okay, these are the only 5 permutations possible. There could be some changing of words given in the question paper, but nothing new. Okay, then the possibility case is right here. For a conclusion to be true, to be 100% true, to be definite true, that is, if it is going in the definition, in the direction of R and is, it must be true under all circumstances, under all possibilities. No matter how many variations you create, your conclusion must be valid in all of them. If it is only true in one but untrue in another, then it is merely a possibility. And there you will go for words like may or might. That is it. This is where the confusion lies. Okay, let us take up a couple of examples now. Okay, now we're just going to draw the diagram. All cats are mammals. All mammals are animals. All of the cats are inside mammals, and then all of the mammals are inside. So let me just make a one common diagram like this. Now you know for sure this is not a possibility that all the cats are indeed animals, because Cats is equals to mammals. Mammals is equals to animals. Therefore, all the animals is equals to cats. You don't have to do this, but your Venn diagram does that for you. Okay, all cats are mammals. Some cats are white. Now, this is where possibility can come in. All cats are going to be mammals, but some cats are white. So you can make one like this, or now if you can see, all mammals are white or maybe white, and some mammals may be white is a possibility. But you do know, हर time mammals और white में intersection होगा ही. So if you see here, some mammals are white. Even here, some mammals are white. So one conclusion that we can make for sure is some mammals are 100% white. What we cannot make or is a possibility is that then all cats are mammals, no mammals are birds. Very easy. Whenever there's no, it's very easy to draw. No mammals are birds. Birds touch ही नहीं कर सकते mammals को, तो birds cats को भी touch नहीं कर पाएंगे, क्योंकि अगर birds इसको touch करने जाएंगे तो फिर mammals को भी touch करना पड़ेगा, which is not possible because no mammals can be birds. So you will have to draw two separate. Can you quickly tell me, can you quickly answer under a minute? Which one follows, which one does not follow?
Conclusion 2 does not follow.
Ma'am,
Only
what
one follows?
follows?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Only one follows.
देखें, check करें. One is true, second is not true. Excellent. This must be your diagram. Okay, where there is a possibility of all the dogs being mammals and some dogs being outside mammals. So this is, अगर इधर may भी होता, फिर follow होता?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, one follows.
Only one? One भी नहीं है follow?
मैम सेकंड होना चाहिए ना, क्योंकि पॉसिबिलिटी तो है उसकी,
Second होगा
बोला
मैम,
नहीं है बट
पॉसिबिलिटी तो नहीं है.
Second definite में जा रहा है.
Ma'am, second नहीं होगा ना, first होगा.
Hmm.
Dogs not touching mammals.
At all. So this is a definite. This is not a possibility.
Ma'am, है तो ये भी definitely.
Definite है. All cats are mammals.
दोनों ही गलत है.
No cat is a dog. So no cat is a dog. So D1, correct. So maybe no intersection between dogs and mammals. Maybe some intersection. No, ऐसे कोई डेटा ही नहीं दिया है dogs और mammals के intersection के बारे में. तो no dog is a mammal. Not sure.
दोनों ही गलत है मैम.
Right, this is indefinite and इन लोगों ने definite में लिखा है, तो not follows. Some dogs are mammals, may be mammals, so this is also indefinite. अगर दोनों को मैं rewrite कर दूं maybe में, तो फिर दोनों follow करते हैं. Okay, so therefore neither of them is true. This one is all about is and ours. You know, usually that is why Syllogs is something that is taught by a verbal teacher, because it's mostly language-based logical reasoning, not quants or number-based, numerical-based.
Ma'am, one follows, two
conclusion
doesn't
one is
follow.
correct and
follows.
second we don't know.
Possibility.
सेकंड की पॉसिबिलिटी नहीं लग रही.
Ma'am, second indefinite नहीं लग रहा.
देखें, some cats are mammals.
दोनों ही गलत है मैम.
ऐसा ही कुछ बना तुम लोग का डायग्राम, और are you guys solving in your head?
No, ma'am.
You're making the diagrams?
Yes, ma'am.
Some dogs are mammals. Well, not in this case, because we only have the definite relationship of cats and dogs. So this is maybe. No dogs are mammals. Again, maybe. Therefore, what is the answer? Neither. Drawing the Venn diagram is easy. Now it is all about finding definite and indefinite. 3 statements, 3 elements.
Ma'am, conclusion 2 follows.
Only 2.
Yes, ma'am.
Others, is he right? Only 2 follows?
Yes, ma'am. Conclusion 2.
Yes, ma'am. Only conclusion 2 follows.
All cats are mammals. All mammals are carnivores.
Yeah, ma'am.
Some mammals are reptiles. So, correct. 2 possibilities. सारे के सारे reptiles carnivores हैं, या फिर कुछ reptiles हैं जो carnivores नहीं है. So some reptiles are cats. Oh, there could be a possibility actually. We can make an R3 also, where it's going through all the circles. So maybe
मैम
some
बट कैट्स का तो उसने बोला ही नहीं है क्वेश्चन में तो.
पर ये तो बोला है ना कि रेप्टाइल्स और मैमल्स में इंटरसेक्शन है, और कैट्स मैमल्स हैं, कुछ कैट्स मैमल्स हैं, तो हम पॉसिबिलिटी में कंसिडर कर सकते हैं ना कि शायद कैट्स और रेप्टाइल्स का पॉसिबल इंटरसेक्शन हो सकता है. इसमें नहीं हो रहा है, R1 में नहीं हो रहा है, R2 में नहीं हो रहा है, बट वी हैव टू टेक अ पॉसिबल कंसिडरेशन. हाँ कि ना?
यस मैम.
सम रेप्टाइल्स आर कार्निवोर्स. हर केस में कार्निवोर्स हैं ही. हाँ हाँ. Yep. So only 2 is a definite conclusion. This is going in the maybe direction. Sarah, you raised your hand.
I have a doubt in one question, ma'am. It was an AILET PYQ. And that the answer key was given as option A, ma'am. I have typed it in chat box, but I'm not getting that.
Okay, can we discuss this at the end? Can you
Yes, ma'am.
stay back at the end? We'll
Yes,
take
ma'am.
up the same question.
Okay.
None of them follows.
None? Is he right?
Yes, ma'am.
मैम इसका डायग्राम क्या बनेगा?
बनाए साथ में. All cats are mammals. सारी की सारे cats mammals हैं. All cats are dogs. बन सकता है ऐसा कुछ कि सारे के सारे डॉग्स मैमल्स हैं, या फिर ऐसे कुछ डॉग्स हैं जो बाहर हैं, यानी मैमल्स नहीं है. ये बना डायग्राम. Then some dogs are carnivores. Now this is going to be a very complex because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 elements. So some dogs are carnivores. So there could be a possible intersection with all of them when it comes to carnivores. इसका तो डेफिनेट है ही, डॉग्स और कार्निवोर्स का इंटरसेक्शन, बट बाकी सबके साथ एक पॉसिबिलिटी है. सो यू कैन ड्रॉ अ डॉटेड सर्कल. सो सम कैट्स मे बी कार्निवोर्स, सम मैमल्स मे बी कार्निवोर्स. सो सम कैट्स आर नो, मे बी. Some dogs are definitely carnivores, but are they? Some cats are no. It's a possibility. Some mammals are carnivores. हर केस में मैमल्स और कार्निवोर्स हो रहा है? नहीं, सेम, मे बी. So neither follows. Right? You would obviously have options in your final exam. Right now you tried it without options and you could still get it. Now, kindly do not be too overconfident and try to solve it without the Venn diagrams. It barely takes a second to draw them. So always draw your Venn diagrams and then lock your answer. Always focus on R's, maybes, and mights. That is where the other part of the question lies. Okay, how do we feel about Venn diagrams? Clear? Now let's move to logical consistency. I don't know if you've heard of a question like if A then B, if B then A, if not B then not A. Right? ऐसे questions भी आते हैं. Technically it's part of Syllogs only. It's called logical consistency. And it's very fun concept.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now this is a formulaic way where you can, people who love rote learning would learn this, but I'll tell you in a logical way how to remember this. So there are 3 cases of logical consistency. Okay, आपको सवाल ऐसा दिया जाएगा. Either he will play football or he will play basketball. Out of A, B, C and D, which permutation definitely follows? इधर भी वही उठाना है जो definitely होने वाला है, ठीक है, possibility नहीं. तो ये सारे केसेस हैं. पहला केस, सबसे कॉमन केस क्वेश्चन में आता है, which is if A then B. Okay, let me take it as if it rains, the ground gets wet. अगर बारिश होगी तो जमीन गीली होगी. तो बारिश हुई, A हुआ, तो फिर then B will follow. Now the inverse of this happens. अगर, let me take the if B then A पहले. Let's say कि ground गीला है. क्या हम कह सकते हैं कि बारिश हुई ही हुई है? 100% हुई है?
नहीं.
नहीं. घर से पानी आया है, किसी ने बाहर फेंका है पानी, किसी का फैल गया है पानी, राइट? There are multiple possibilities of the road being wet due to other reasons. It is not a definite outcome कि बारिश ही हुई है. इसलिए if A then B follows, but if B then A does not follow. Right? In logic, we do not play with possibilities. We need definite outcomes. Then, if not B, then not A. Ground सूखा है, एकदम सूखा है, तो क्या हम कह सकते हैं कि बारिश नहीं हुई है? है ना? ना ही किसी फैला है, ना ही कहीं से पानी ऊपर से उड़ के आया है, कुछ भी नहीं हुआ है और साथ में बारिश भी नहीं हुई है. यानी कुछ भी नहीं हुआ है and definitely बारिश भी नहीं हुई है. That is why the ground is completely dry. So yes, if the ground is completely dry, then we can say for 100% sure that it did not rain. Now the inverse of this, if not A, अगर बारिश नहीं हुई है तो क्या 100% गारंटी है कि ग्राउंड सूखा ही मिलेगा? अभी बारिश नहीं हो रही है मेरे घर पे. Can I like be 100% sure that the ground outside is going to be completely dry?
No, ma'am.
Again, what if somebody spilt water? What if it came out of somebody's house? किसी का मोटर का लीक हो रहा है पानी. Many possibilities. So in logical consistency, no possibilities, only the two definite outcomes when it comes to if and then case. Remember, if A then B, so if it rains, the ground is definitely getting wet. And if it is not raining, then, sorry, if the ground is not wet, then there are no other sources of water. And also it is definitely not the rain that has made the ground wet because it's completely dry. And then the others will not follow because it opens the room for possibilities. Let's stick with this case and do one question with me. If Suresh practices, then Suresh improves his skill. So two possibilities only. Suresh ने practice की, उसकी skill improve हो गई. Do I have an option like this? Now chronology matters, huh? Chronology matters. You can't say कि एक ही बात है अगर इसको उल्टा लिख दे तो नहीं. As you saw, if A then B follows, but if B then A does not follow. So always label it like this and check for the two. First is if A then B. Can we see an option like this? Suresh practiced, so he improved his skill. There is no option like this. We have the inverse of this. Does not work. What was the other thing that worked? If not B, then not A. This will follow. So let us see which option
Option A,
is it.
ma'am.
Option.
Not B, then not A.
The
So
first option.
Suresh did not improve his skill. So that is both of these options. Therefore, we can say for sure that he has not practiced. Which option is that? कौन सा
A,
option है?
ma'am.
It's not A. It's not A.
Ma'am.
A में उल्टा है. This is not A, then not B. Let me simplify it. This one is not B, not A. This one does not improve, not B, then A. Then this is A, sorry, this is B, and then A. And it gets confusing. That is why I always label it and then remember which cases follow. There are two cases. If A, then B. There ऐसा कोई option ही नहीं है. Second, negation, ulta. If not B, then not A. And that is only option B. Suresh did not or does not improve his skills. उसकी skills बेकार की बेकार ही है. Then we know for sure that he has not practiced.
But ma'am, if he does not practice, then उसकी skills भी तो improve नहीं होंगी ना, वो भी तो definite ही है ना.
if Suresh does not practice
Mm-hmm.
is not A, then Suresh will, then that's not A and not B wala case, which does not follow. That opens the room for possibilities. Help me with what other possibilities can be taken in consideration. सुरेश
मैम
ने
कुछ
प्रैक्टिस
समझ
नहीं
नहीं
किया तो उसकी स्किल्स, हाँ, कैन वी बी श्योर कि उसकी स्किल्स इंप्रूव होंगी नहीं?
नहीं.
There could be other ways that he, I mean, I can't think of any, but yeah, there could be possibilities where his skills can be improved without practice. But if we know for sure कि उसमें skills ही नहीं है, कुछ भी skills नहीं है, ठीक है, let's take the Spider-Man example ना. He one day wakes up and he's gotten bitten by a spider and he's developed these massive, amazing skills. So, yes, he did not practice, but he did end up improving his skills because of that magic spider.
हेलो मैम.
But उस पे कोई भी skill नहीं है. हाँ, अभिनव, yes.
मैम ये समझ ही नहीं आ
बोलो.
रहा मैम.
हाँ, मेरे
दिमाग
को
के
भी
ऊपर
क्लिक
से
नहीं हो
निकल
रहा.
रहा है.
Can you go
Yes,
about it
ma'am.
again?
थोड़ा सा
Okay.
ये टाइप दोबारा
Okay.
बता
Did you
दीजिए.
get my ground and wet example? Ground
Yes,
and
ma'am.
rain
Yes, ma'am.
example.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'll take
Yes.
this one example. Okay. Now this does get confusing, and that is why I ask you to approach it in a very formulaic way where you learn things. अब रट्टा ही लगा के जाओ क्योंकि इनको सोचने में टाइम जाता है. वो टाइम मेरे पास नहीं है, तो मैं याद करके जाऊंगी, ठीक है? And then I'll just quickly put the variables, check the two possibilities. The two possibilities were if A then B, if not B then not A, right? This is something that you will, now what I will सिर्फ इन्हीं दो में से follow करता है. Yes, Arna.
But ma'am, why can it not be if not A then not B? मतलब in
Okay,
this
then I have
case,
to go.
हाँ मैम
हाँ,
सही बात है.
In this case,
I am getting
किस में?
confused. अगर वो सीख ही नहीं रहा है तो उसकी skills नहीं होंगी ना develop.
एंड मैम ये तो हम
मैंने
लोग
वही तो कहा.
मैम स्टेटमेंट में भी तो नहीं बताया कि कोई स्पाइडरमैन बन जाएगा या फिर ऐसा कुछ. तो स्टेटमेंट में तो जितना दिया है हम लोग को तो उसी में रिएक्ट करना है.
Absolutely, you're right, Abhinav. But
मेरे
we'll
को
have
बस
to
ये
take
नहीं समझ आ
into
रहा that why
consideration.
not option A is right, because if he doesn't practice then his skills will not improve.
They can improve. What if the same example? What if he gets bit by a magic spider?
मैम बट दैट इज नॉट पॉसिबल ना.
It is possible. I told you, don't take your subjectivity here. It is possible. In the world
But
of
मैम
Suresh,
अगर
it
कोई
is.
बट
practice
मैम
नहीं कर रहा है तो फिर वो improve कैसे कर रहा है skills? Do
बट
we
मैम
have to
स्टेटमेंट
not
में तो
imply
ऐसा कुछ लिखा
logic?
भी नहीं है.
हाँ, तो इधर भी नहीं था कुछ लिखा कि घर से पानी लीक हो रहा है या फिर किसी ने पानी फैला दिया. That's where your logic is coming in, na? Where
So
you're
we don't
opening
have
the.
to put an
मैम
external
सिंपल
logic. We have to go by the question.
Absolutely, but we do have to consider if there are any room for possibilities. Because if you consider the second one, I'm constantly opening the room for possibilities. Na? Now you guys try and open the room of possibility here in B.
मैम
Try to
एक
make a
क्वेश्चन
spider.
मेरा है मैम. मैम अगर मैंने एलेट के लिए पढ़ाई नहीं की, मैंने कुछ भी नहीं पढ़ा, तो मैं तो फेल हो जाऊंगा.
नहीं,
तो है.
क्या पता किसी ने बाजू में पेपर दिखा
तो
दिया
मैम
आपको,
हम लक
चीटिंग कर लिया
फैक्टर को
आपने.
अकाउंट कर रहे हैं इसमें कि लक हो सकता है हमारे प्ले में हो कि हमने ना पढ़ा और फिर भी निकल जाए. इट्स लाइक अ वेरी
Correct.
नॉन मतलब रेयर पॉसिबिलिटी बट है. सो वी कांट
Correct.
नेगेट इट.
Correct. So it's not even about rarity. If it is a possibility, then in logic you have to consider it.
मतलब उतना
Right?
रैशनलिटी नहीं है, मतलब थोड़ा बहुत डिल्यूशनल है.
तो तुम लॉयर्स क्यों बन रहे हो फिर? रैशनैलिटी तो तुम्हारा औजार है.
है ना? मतलब मैम इस टॉपिक में
अच्छा
हम
मैम,
लोग,
ये जो
इसलिए मैंने ये
सेकंड नंबर का
फॉर्मूला
ऑप्शन
दिया
है,
है. इसलिए मैंने ये फॉर्मूला दिया है which you can simply learn. ये तो it will click on you slowly. I mean, there are multitude of examples you can take. You can ask ChatGPT to generate multiple examples, but the logic remains the same. You take whatever example, only
मैम
these
एक
cases
सेकंड
will
ये वाली
follow.
पेज खोल के रखना, मैं जस्ट एक फोटो ले लूंगा इसकी.
हाँ.
मैम आप इससे एक और बार एक्सप्लेन कर दीजिए, मैं कंफ्यूज हो गया हूँ.
Same case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
तो मैम बेसिकली उस क्वेश्चन में, प्रैक्टिस वाले क्वेश्चन में, इट्स लाइक कि अगर उसने प्रैक्टिस भी नहीं की है तो देयर माइट बी अ पॉसिबिलिटी कि उसकी स्किल्स इम्प्रूव हो जाए.
What if जादू आ गया एंड उसने उसको ऐसे स्पेशल, जैसे प्रोटैगनिस्ट का
मैम अगर
चश्मा
पेपर
निकल
लीक
जाता
हो
है.
गया मतलब ऐसा कुछ.
Right. See, you guys are very creative. You are getting that you are now opening the door for possibilities. Now try opening the door for possibilities in B. You can't. There are no possibilities.
हाँ मैम वो सही बात है. अब समझ आ
है
गया
ना?
मैम, समझ आ गया.
So
है ना?
basically we have to go after an option जहाँ possibilities negate हो रही हैं.
Correct. जहाँ definite outcome है. जैसे
अच्छा.
सिलॉग्स में भी we were
Okay.
going for definite outcomes only. Same in logical consistency, you go for where things are 100% in all permutations is going to be true.
So
Now look
one
at
way to
B.
go about it could be we eliminate every option which shows a
Yes.
possibility, no?
Yes.
मैम
And that will take up a lot of time where you have to start imagining things. You don't have that. So just learn it. Learn the two
अच्छा
things that
मैम,
follow.
मैम ये जो लास्ट वाला ऑप्शन है
Hmm.
इसमें अगर वो मस्ट के जगह माइट होता कि सुरेश माइट हैव प्रैक्टिस तो वो भी तो हो सकता था.
हाँ, तब हो सकता था, बट अगेन वो फिर थोड़ा प्रॉब्लमेटिक होता, सेफ आंसर नहीं होता, बिकॉज वी हैव लाइक अ
मैम
डेफिनेट
हम
आंसर.
कह रहे थे कि जो ऑप्शन भी है उसमें ऐसा भी तो हो सकता है कि वो प्रैक्टिस किया पर वो इम्प्रूव ही नहीं कर पाया, जैसे वो फर्स्ट वाले में था कि म- मतलब कि वो बिना प्रैक्टिस के इम्प्रूव हो गया।
वो ऐसा ऑप्शन ही नहीं है मेरे पास जिसने प्रैक्टिस किया पर फिर भी इम्प्रूव ही नहीं हो पाया.
हाँ मैम ऐसा भी तो हो सकता है कि जैसे उसने बहुत प्रैक्टिस की हो पर फेल ही हो गया.
तभी यस
वही बात
मैम।
है.
ऑप्शन ही नहीं है. You guys are making options now.
तो मैम
There
अगर
are no options like
टेक्निकली
that.
देखे तो कोई भी ऑप्शन सही नहीं है.
See, now B में देखो, सुरेश does not improve his skills. यानी ना इधर इसको किसी मकड़ी ने काटा है, कुछ भी नहीं हुआ है, राइट? तो हमें मालूम है ना उसने प्रैक्टिस किया है, ना उसको कोई मैजिकल मकड़ी ने काटा है. तो नाउ वी नो फॉर श्योर कि सुरेश हैज डेफिनेटली नॉट प्रैक्टिस्ड एंड नो अदर पॉसिबिलिटीज हैव हैपेंड बिकॉज हिज स्किल्स आर नॉट इम्प्रूव्ड. वो ऐसा ही खेल रहा है जैसे पहले खेल रहा था. तो ना उसके साथ कोई मैजिक हुआ है, ना उसने खुद कोई प्रैक्टिस की है. बट अगर उसने प्रैक्टिस की होती तो हम 100% नहीं कह सकते थे कि उसकी स्किल्स इंप्रूव हुई हैं. सो वो आउटकम पॉसिबल नहीं था बिकॉज दैट ओपन्स रूम फॉर
अच्छा मैम,
पॉसिबल.
जो क्वेश्चन में दिया हुआ है उसी के हिसाब से ऑप्शन को टिक करना है ना।
करेक्ट. सो दैट इज व्हाई learn. This is where I know it's not ethical for a teacher to advocate rote learning, but here I would, because if we sit and if we debate, then endless debates could happen. Now you can start argumenting कि भाई कौन सी मकड़ी, मकड़ी is not real, this Spider-Man is a fictional story and all of that,
मैम
but we
आप
don't
यही
really
वाला
have
एक बार समझा दीजिए बस।
this one here.
यस मैम।
This I will take up the same. If it rains, the ground is wet. This is the simplest example. Okay. If you ever forget the permutations, just think of this one. If it rains, the ground is wet. बारिश हुई है. मुझे पक्का पता है कि जमीन गीली ही होगी क्योंकि बारिश जमीन पे ही गिरेगी और कहाँ जाएगी.
मैम आप
So
एक बार वो फुटबॉल वाला क्वेश्चन दिखाना फिर से.
you chat GPT in this. You don't trust me.
नो आई एम नॉट यूजिंग चैट जीपीटी. मुझे वो एक्चुअली फुटबॉल वाला क्वेश्चन देखना था.
Okay. Think about it. But that's the problem, na? You'll start thinking and getting over analytical, which you don't have the time for. Okay, so it has rained, the ground is 100% wet. But if the ground is not wet, that we know for sure कि बारिश तो हुई नहीं है और कोई अदर पॉसिबिलिटीज भी नहीं हुई है. यानी मेरी मम्मी ने खिड़की से बाहर पानी नहीं फेंका है, मेरी मोटर नहीं बह रही थी, ठीक है, कोई नाले से पानी नहीं आया है. अगर पूरा सूखा है जमीन तो ये तीन पॉसिबिलिटीज भी नहीं हुई है और बारिश भी नहीं हुई है. कुछ भी नहीं हुआ है, पानी आया ही नहीं है कहीं से. सो ओनली दीज टू फॉलो. नाउ लुक एट द अदर्स. इफ बी देन ए. ग्राउंड गीला है, क्या मैं 100% कह सकती हूँ कि बारिश हुई है? नहीं. मे बी हुई है. मे बी मेरी मम्मी ने खिड़की से पानी बाहर फेंका है. सेम, इफ नॉट ए देन नॉट बी, बारिश नहीं हुई है तो क्या हम कह सकते हैं कि ग्राउंड नहीं गीला है? अगेन ग्राउंड गीला हो सकता है क्योंकि मेरी मम्मी को खिड़की से पानी फेंकना अच्छा लगता है. So these are two possibilities. These are definite outcomes. ये होगा ही होगा. इधर भी देखो ना, if A then B, यानी इधर बारिश हुई है तो ग्राउंड गीला है, बारिश हुई है मम्मी ने भी ग्राउंड से खिड़की से पानी फेंका है, मोटर भी बह रही है, नाला भी बह रहा है, तो ग्राउंड गीला ही मिलेगा. चाहे कितनी भी पॉसिबिलिटीज ले लो, ग्राउंड गीला ही मिलेगा. So in both the first two cases, whatever possibilities you take, the outcome is 100% definite. In the second two, it is indefinite, hence not follows. Okay, if you ever forget, take this example. It's a very easy example. In your exam, please do not waste time. Just learn these two. बस ये दो याद करके जाओ. And try to give variables. पहला वाला A, then B, and then hunt for options. One of these two options. Hakina, you want to try one more yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Try yourself. Okay? Now you have to tell me which one can you make. So this is whenever we go out is similar to if. If and whenever is same. Now you just have to tell me कौन सा combination बन रहा है. Step 1 is give them
मैम
quick
ऑप्शन
variable.
डी, नहीं ऑप्शन डी या फिर ऑप्शन बी?
No.
बी, ऑप्शन बी.
Chronology
Ma'am,
matters.
B.
Chronology matters.
Ma'am, option C.
I'm option C.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
C.
option C.
Okay, this is how I would do in the exam. I will quickly
If
write.
A, then B. If not B, then not A.
Absolutely. Let me quickly write this. Now I know only these follow. So we went out, we had ice cream. So we went out C, we had ice cream A. So first possibility is C and A, not A and C.
अच्छा, मतलब
C,
ए सी नहीं कर सकते?
मैंने वही तो कहा, chronology matters. C and A and C are not the same. When you've gone for A and C, you've gone for if B then A. And if B then A does not follow.
हाँ, तब तो ऑप्शन सी होगा,
है ना? फिर if not B then not A. We did not have ice cream. Then that means we did not go out. So second possibility is B and D. कौन सा दिख रहा है ऑप्शन में? ये गलत, ये गलत. आंसर इज
C.
हाँ ना? So this is how I want you to approach. Don't think of any possibility and all of that. Learn the two things that follow, write them down, hunt for them, choose your answer and move ahead.
मैम अगर
Okay.
ऑप्शन पे सी ए और बी डी दोनों रहता तो?
C A and
और
B
बी
D.
डी?
हाँ, then you would have gone for that. But ऐसा ऑप्शन नहीं है ना?
नो आई मीन अगर सेपरेट तो नहीं रह सकता, मतलब बोथ दे वोंट गिव सेपरेटली.
हाँ, so
तो
if you
मैम
had
एक और ऑप्शन होगा ना फिर कि both of these are correct करके.
correct,
ओ
correct.
अच्छा,
Let's
mean
say if you have B
independently.
D and C A, then you should go for this option because there are two combinations here and there's only one combination here. Then this is the only case. So let us take up the second case, which is only. Now ये इसका उल्टा है. Only if A then B. Only if you score 99%, then will you get admission in NLU Delhi. ठीक है. Only if you score 99% is A, will you get admission in NLU Delhi B. तो इसमें क्या फॉलो होता है? If B then A. ठीक है. अगर मुझे एडमिशन मिल गई है तो मैं 99% स्कोर लाई हूं. If not A then not B. अगर मैं 99% नहीं लाई हूं तो मुझे एडमिशन नहीं मिली है. क्या फॉलो नहीं होता है? If not B then not A. अगर मेरे को एडमिशन दिल्ली में नहीं मिली है इसका मतलब मैं 99% स्कोर नहीं लाई हूं. नाउ दैट अगेन ओपन्स द रूम फॉर पॉसिबिलिटीज. मैं लाई थी, सीटें भर गई. मैं लाई थी, शायद मैंने एडमिशन कहीं और ले लिया. सो दिस वन ओपन्स रूम फॉर पॉसिबिलिटीज अगेन. इफ ए देन बी, हाँ आई स्कोर 99%. Will I take admission in NLU Delhi? Not necessarily. Maybe I've taken admission in Bangalore, in Hyderabad, Nalsar, in other colleges, right? So here, there are no room for possibilities. Here, there are room for possibilities. Again, you just have to rote learn it. How do you rote learn it? It is just the inverse, the opposite, if you can see, of the if-then case. So quickly, can you help me with this? What will be the answer of this? If B, then A. If not A, then not B.
Ma'am, option B.
If B, then A. Rima feels happy, or Rima felt happy, so she sang. A, B. If not A, Rima did not sing, she did not feel happy. C, D. A, B, and C, D. Here
ऑप्शन
it's
डी।
D, C.
ओ
ऑप्शन
नहीं,
ए।
सीडी नहीं है, देन तो
तो मैम
ऑप्शन
यही
ए
हुआ
वुड
ना
बी द
फिर।
आंसर।
बिल्कुल ऑप्शन ए हुआ फिर, ये गलत है। Chronology matters. If you're switching the chronology, you're switching the cases altogether. Okay, then the last case, it's the easiest. That's the either or case.
Ma'am, I got confused between C and D, and that's why I chose option B.
Yes, I mean, it matters, right? So you have to remember in logical consistency, you have to learn the things, but you also have to check the chronology of things. Okay, A, B, and B, A are not the same. Now, third case is either A or B. या तो
मैम
A,
हमको लास्ट वाला समझ नहीं आया, एक बार वापस से समझाइए ना।
which one? Only if
अ,
this one?
सी और डी और सी वाला क्यों नहीं होगा?
क्योंकि सिर्फ ये फॉलो होता है, if not A, not B. If you're going for DC, then you're saying if not B, then not A. If not B, then not A actually does not follow. That opens rooms for possibility. It's an indefinite outcome. So I can't go for DC. I have to go for CD. Akina. Now, either A or B. Either I will have chocolate ice cream or I will have strawberry ice cream. Correct? If I'm eating chocolate ice cream, I'm not going to be eating strawberry ice cream. If I'm eating strawberry ice cream, I'm not eating chocolate ice cream. If I'm not eating strawberry, then I'm definitely eating chocolate. If I'm not eating chocolate, then I'm eating strawberry. हाँ कि ना? मतलब दोनों में से कोई एक ही होगा। कौन सा नहीं होगा? Which one does not follow? ऐसा केस जिसमें दोनों हो रहे हैं, both of them are happening, वो नहीं होगा, फिर वो आप एलिमिनेट करेंगे। आप सिर्फ ऐसा ऑप्शन उठाएंगे जिसमें दोनों में से सिर्फ एक हो रहा है। जैसे ये, either he will play football or he will play basketball. क्या होगा इसका आंसर?
मैम, ऑप्शन
बी।
बी।
He plays football and basketball नहीं हो सकता, या तो वो फुटबॉल खेलेगा या बास्केटबॉल। अगर वो फुटबॉल खेल रहा है तो बास्केटबॉल नहीं खेल सकता, तो बोथ केस नहीं हो सकता,
बी
है ना? See here also both he's doing. I told you both does not follow. If he plays cricket,
मैम बी, मैम इजीली बी।
क्रिकेट कहां से आ गया? ये बेकार। See, he's not playing basketball, then I definitely am sure he's playing football. This is the easiest case of logical consistency, either or. ठीक है
इजी लगा है, बाकी सब तो
ना? If वाले केस में प्रॉब्लम है, but again, just learn the two possibilities. Okay, if you want to take screenshot, take the screenshots of it, learn it like a mathematical formula. I have taught you the logic, but learn it like a mathematical formula. This one is called causality. Okay, cause guarantees the effect, but the effect does not guarantee the cause. But absence of effect guarantees the absence of cause. Okay, this is called concept of causality. This is a very important crux of logic that you will definitely be learning in college. This is just the foundation of it.
मैम सेकंड वाला बहुत कंफ्यूजिंग।
सेकंड वाला is just the inverse. ठीक है, बस ऊपर वाले को उल्टा कर दो।
मैम वी विल गेट द पीडीएफ आफ्टर द क्लास।
I don't think so. because there's not much theory in analytical. So take screenshot. I'll just ask you to take screenshots wherever possible. Here you can take screenshot.
मैम भेज देना ना मैम PDF please.
Okay, I will send it for theory part only. ठीक है?
Ma'am, send all the questions also, ma'am. They are
Okay.
good questions.
Okay.
Ma'am, at least we can practice it later on.
But don't practice the same questions, okay? Try to practice some new high level of difficulty questions, okay?
मैम हम लोग को क्वेश्चन प्रैक्टिस करने के लिए भी कोई शीट दे सकता है, क्योंकि वैसे तो है नहीं.
I think you will be provided. Don't worry about that.
ओके मैम.
ठीक है? ये लिया इसका? आगे बढ़े?
हाँ मैम.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, logical consistency done, Venn diagrams done. Let's move to the next one, coding, decoding. Now, if I'm being very honest, those were the tougher ones. Now that that is out of the way, these are easier. And if I'm being very specific, they are a little unpredictable. Because when it comes to coding, decoding, and इसके permutation combination, तो इसके हजारों लाखों combinations हो सकते हैं कि क्या आप किस तरह का pattern आएगा, right? I mean, you've done this in your college, in your school also, na? Right? So here they're simply playing the table of 7. But
Ma'am, it's just 3 added to all the numbers.
Right? Maybe they add a 2, maybe they add a 4, maybe they add a 8. So when it comes to coding, decoding, there is 100 ways they can form a question. So on your part, there's nothing much to prepare. It is just that you observe the pattern. That is the best you can do. Maybe you get the pattern, maybe you don't get the pattern. Okay. In the other cases, there's always a fixed pattern, right? In if case, only if case, there's a fixed pattern. Here there isn't. This is a risky question. अगर आ जाता है pattern तो attempt करना question. अगर नहीं आता है तो please तुक्का मत लगाना. There's negative marking. Coding decoding is usually asked in alphabetical way. It's a combination of alphabets and numbers. Mostly it is the position of the alphabets. Okay, so A, 1, B, 2, C, 3, that's how it's represented. Or even the opposite of A. Sorry, even the opposite direction where Z is 1, this is 2, this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so how do you remember it? अभी opposite लिखने बैठेंगे तो आप लिख भी सकते हैं पीछे. This is something that you make it in your rough diagram. Okay, so you can write it, or there's a trick. If you remember the position, then you just subtract that position with number 27. अगर इसका inverse ढूंढना है, यानी अगर Z से 1, 2, 3 चालू हो रहा है, तो फिर M का क्या number? So you just subtract 27 minus the position. What is it? 14. And indeed, it is 14. Right? So that is one way to do it. If you feel that's a lot of work, you can just quickly number them as well. Okay. Now, what do you think is the pattern here? B से C पे गए. क्या किया मैंने?
एक लेटर चेंज मतलब आगे जा रहे हैं.
A से B पे गए. C से M पे गए.
+9.
No, it should be +1. I think there's G, H, I, J. Yeah, this one is a little, I think, a typo from my end. Should be D because the pattern was +1. If it wasn't, okay, you would have put +9 here. So +1, +9, +1. That is also fine. I told you there's endless way that they could make a permutation combination. So how will I write row?
इन लोगों को सिर्फ क्वेश्चन बनाना है. ये नहीं देखना कि बच्चों को क्या फील होगा या फिर बच्चों को क्या होगा. बस क्वेश्चन बना दो.
तो बच्चों को क्या मतलब क्यों बच्चों की फीलिंग्स को कंसिडरेशन में नहीं लिया जाएगा ना. ये लॉजिक है इधर. Especially in coding, decoding, there's like 100 possibilities possible. They're asking you 11 ka table. They're asking you 11 ka table minus 8. So there's 100. Now this is where numbers come in. I told you in the first topic, there's no numbers, no numerical value quants that you're working with. Now here you're working with some quants, which is quite basic. It's addition, subtraction, multiplication, even sometimes division. So how do I do Rome? Rome ka +1. R का +1. R के बाद क्या आता है?
Yes,
I've
ma'am.
studied
S आता
S, right? I've studied the pattern of this. Now I just have to imitate. R के बाद S, O के बाद P, M के बाद N, E के बाद F. Mental and then this. What is the pattern here?
मैम +2.
मैम +2 +3 +5.
मैम थोड़ा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है इसमें.
है ना, कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है, बट सिर्फ इसको
मैम
डिकोड
पर
करने
इजी
का
है.
काम है.
+2 +3 3 +4.
Yeah, +2 +3 +4 +5 +6. Then candle will be written as
ECRI.
EDRIRL. You'll have to do a lot of like counting on your fingers. Or if you've drawn that diagram, piche, this one, and you can just dump numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you've drawn this behind, I think I would prefer if this is drawn behind. But if you're good with numbers, if you're good with mind maps, then you can just make it in your head. But this is what I want to convey about coding decoding is that 100 ways of them forming a question. Sometimes you can catch it in the first glance. Sometimes it's way too difficult and you cannot understand it. It is completely fine. You can move to the next question. Okay. Move to verbal reasoning. Move to strengthening, weakening, assumption, conclusion. Those are way more approachable, less riskier than these questions. Now, this is addition. Maybe you're adding some of the alphabets. There's a test where T is 20, E is 5, S is 90, T ka position again 20. Then I've added, I've gotten 64. Then exam ka kya hoga? I'll go back. 5 plus 24 plus 1
मैम 43.
plus 13. 30, 43. Excellent. Can is 81, U is 16.
37.
Okay. You guys are very good with this, huh? Okay, how did they come with 81? Ulta. 3 plus 1 plus 14 is 18, and then the ulta of this is 81. Then 25 plus 15, 21, which is of U, is 61. Reverse is 16. So you have to now see that there's an additional step. Here it was just adding. Here you are adding plus you are inversing. There was an additional step. So this is a complicated set of questions. This is another way that you can get it, where, see, 7 to 5 is you are right, 1 to 3 is right is wrong, 4, 6, 3 is wrong in thinking. Then what is the code for is? कैसे निकालेंगे? कहाँ दिख रहा है मुझे is? यहाँ दिख रहा है, पर यहाँ पे मुझे right और wrong भी दिख रहा है, तो मैं right का कोड निकाल लेती हूँ जो यहाँ पे है. See, in the first two statements, the only common word is right. So, and there's only one common number, 2. So the code for 2 is right. Again, in these two statements, 2 and 3, wrong is common, and the only number common is 3. So wrong is 3. So right is 2, wrong is 3. Bacha kya?
2.
2 is right. See, ऊपर भी 2 है statement 1 में.
Ma'am, I couldn't understand this question.
Is 1.
You just had to find what is the code of is. Is it 1, 2 or
मैम
3?
इट इज 1 क्योंकि 2 और 3 तो पहले ही निकल गया है.
Right, so we have to find the code for this. I can't find it for is because kahin bhi nahi hai, but these are present in other sentences. So maybe if I eliminate it, maybe then I can find it. Right is used above, and it's the only common word between the two sentences. So the only common number between the two sentences is number 2. Therefore, right has to be 2. Wrong is the only common word between statement 2 and 3. And the only common number is 3. So wrong has to be 3. So out of 1, 2, 3, we are only left with 1. So is has to be 1. Samjha?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. I mean, these are some of the ways that coding questions are asked. There are many other ways that they could be asked, but you always study the pattern of the initial questions or initial numbers and then try to imitate them. Okay, this was coding, decoding. Let's move to blood relations. Very interesting. It is such an interesting concept. Again, no numbers. So anyone who's scared of multiplication, addition, subtraction, इधर कुछ भी नहीं है. इधर diagram बनाने का काम है. It's very fun. Okay, now these are some things that you should know because these are the words they use in the question. For example, Rahul is the nephew of Sita. Khushi is the Khushi is the maternal aunt of Rohit. So these are the simple concepts that you should know. Niece, nephew, sister, brother, maternal, paternal, all of that. Another trap. Do not decide the gender of the person based on the name. राहुल है तो लड़का ही होगा, ठीक है. सूर्य और सूर्या है तो लड़का ही होगा, not necessarily, right? Sai is a boy and Sai is a girl. So do not look at a name and assume
Sai
gender.
Pallavi, ma'am.
Right, Sai Pallavi is also a name. So name and gender को commonly को associate करके गलती मत करना. Gender matters. Now, why does gender matter? Because you're supposed to represent gender in a form of a diagram. Okay, so male has to be represented in a square and female in a circle. Correct? Male in a square, female in a circle. Now the first statement is A is the brother of B. So all I know is A is male and they are brothers and sisters. So brother and sister are represented with one line in between of them. Now B could be brother of A or sister of A. We don't know the gender of B, so I'm going to leave it empty. Then B is sister of C. कैसे बनाऊंगी? B लड़की है, C का gender मुझे नहीं मालूम. Brother sisters are represented with a line between them. Father, now see, brother sisters, they're like our age, same level, same hierarchy. But when it comes to father, I mean, he's obviously the authority figure. So you put father above you, and father is male. So this is how you represent father. A is the father of B. Mother, right? Just female authority figure. Now what is left? Brother, sister, father, mother, done. Husband and wife. How do we represent them? 2 lines. Okay, 2 lines. Single line sibling, 2 lines partners. Okay, so A is the husband of B. Now we know for sure. Now see guys, here they're not very woke. If one is husband, the other is wife. Okay, you can't say other could be husband. No. If this is a guy.
इंडिया में पेपर बन रहा है तो it's illegal.
Correct. So वो लेके, if this one is guy, then this is girl. Right? So this is how you represent. Okay, if you want to take a screenshot, quickly take it. And now I just play with this. Now I just take the question and represent it in a diagram. And then whatever they're asking, how is B related to G? I just look at the family chart. So we'll now be drawing the family chart, the family tree, tracing this. We'll just find who and how are they related. Okay, now draw it with me, huh? In your notebooks also. A is the brother of B. B is the sister of C. D is the father of A. M is mother of A. G is grandfather of C. How is C related to G? Okay, this one's kind of easy because if G is grandfather of C, then C is grandchild of G. But still, let us try to put it in a diagram. A is the brother of B will be made like this. B is sister of C. Correct? So they're all siblings. C's gender we don't know, so I'm going to leave it like that. Then D is father of A. Now, given that they are siblings, cousin नहीं लिखा है मैंने. Cousin लिखा होता, then maybe फिर aunt, uncle, nephew आ जाता. But they are sisters and brothers. Therefore, they are real sisters and brothers. Real is not really a thing that is separate. Cousin को cousin बुलाते हैं और सगे भाई बहनों को brother sister बुलाते हैं या siblings. So now that they are connected, so obviously they all have one father, which is D, and their mother, M. Then G is grandfather of C, so obviously now they haven't specified maternal grandfather or paternal grandfather, but that won't really make a difference because if he is the grandfather, chahe nana, chahe dada, C is going to be his poti or doti, right? The grandchild. So this is how D and C are related. It's easier to draw connection now. Son, daughter,
Yes, sir.
grandchild. So
Yes,
blood relation is also very easy. Now, where could it get confusing? Where there is aunt, uncle, nephew, all of these words come in, then the tree could get a little
मैम
complicated.
आंट और अंकल का भी एक बार के लिए इजी रहता है, बट जब सिंबल्स आ जाते हैं ना प्लस माइनस, तब सबसे ज्यादा कंफ्यूजिंग होता है. जैसे क्लैट में था.
What is plus minus?
मैम क्लैट में एक क्वेश्चन था कि
हाँ मैम.
मतलब
मैम प्लस
मतलब
माइनस
पहले
करके
तो
दिखाता है.
मैम
माइनस
इसमें 5 थे मैम, 5-6 क्वेश्चन।
मतलब
एक्चुअली मैम
एक ही जगह प्लस दिया है.
मतलब मैम जैसे
नहीं
A
नहीं
into B है तो A if the
अरे
father
मैम
of B
रिलेशंस को
ऐसे
रिप्रेजेंट
करके
किया गया है
हाँ
प्लस माइनस से.
Ma'am, to
Plus
show a
हाँ,
minus.
जैसे
relation,
2
you would
+ 2
basically
=
use
father।
that the father and the mother is multiplication and the daughter is division, ऐसे कर करके. तो it was like a equation दे
मैम
रखी थी.
ऐसा था मैं
Did you?
देखिए
सिंबल से रिप्रेजेंट किया था उनका रिलेशन.
मैम कैन यू सी इट
What, are
like
you
मैम
showing me something? No, wait. Oh,
ऐसे क्वेश्चंस थे
yeah.
मैम.
मैम like some symbols are representing relation between A or B or C or D something.
I mean, AILET is usually tougher than CLAT, so you have to be prepared, huh? हो सकता है कि ऐसे कुछ
मैम
सवाल आए.
प्लस माइनस देख के
हो
दिमाग खराब
गया
हो
मैम, फिर हमारा प्लस माइनस आ गया तो फिर तो हो गया हमारा.
Because if plus minus comes and double काम हो गया, then you have to associate variable with another variable, and I understand it can get confusing. Leave the questions for last. I mean, पूरा पेपर हुआ था क्या? CLAT में पूरा खत्म हुआ था?
हाँ मैम मेरा हो गया था पूरा.
Did you have time for revision also later?
नो नॉट इवन अ सेकंड.
Exact time पे खत्म हुआ.
हाँ मतलब वो टीचर हाथ से छीनने वाला था और मैंने अपना लास्ट क्वेश्चन मार्क किया.
मैम मैंने तो एक AR का क्वेश्चन छोड़ा था जानबूझ के, क्योंकि मुझे पता था अगर मैं किया तो गलत होना ही है वो.
Makes sense. So if somebody who's still struggling with time could leave these questions for later or skip them altogether.
मैम वो जो
People,
लॉजिकल की जो पहला मतलब पहला पैरा था ना वो मैंने छोड़ दिया था पूरा. तो समझ ही
but
नहीं आया. लेटर्स
that
का
was
कुछ
a
था.
shocker, right? We were practicing LR passages and then फिर पूरा
मैम
section ही
एक्चुअली वी
अलग
वर
अलग.
practicing FR but it came AR so it
Exactly.
created confusion.
Exactly. I think मैंने मेंशन किया था, but briefly मेंशन किया था कि 2024 के पेपर में एक पैसेज आया था AR का, बाकी 3 LR के ही आए थे. इस बार सारे AR दे दिए. So CLAT is unpredictable. This is one thing that you should know about. I don't think AILET in the past has made any wild deviations so far. So we can't really, shouldn't be expecting much twists from them. But
2023 paper was quite different in pattern. 5 questions from English, 5 questions from logical. Again, it was like repeating for 120 questions.
Okay, how were they different? They were not in the syllabus?
No, ma'am, but the passages were quite lengthy and this majority minority questions were there. Instead of in syllogisms, it was represented in other manner.
Correct. Right. So that's a little change of words. Let's be prepared for it. So I think if you have time, pick up some past year papers right now. Instead of even doing mocks, pick up past year papers. Finish all the last 5-year papers, and then if you have time, pick up mocks. But focus
Hello,
on
ma'am.
past papers. Yes, Abhinav.
Ma'am, can you please solve the first question from analytical reasoning CLAT का paper वाला? First question.
ठीक है. I don't have the paper. Let me just quickly finish this, and then if time permits, I'll take it up.
Okay,
चलेगा?
ma'am. हाँ, चलेगा.
Let's quickly finish it then. Pointing to a woman in a photograph, a man says she is the mother of the father of my wife's only son. कैसे बनेगा ये? कौन है वो उसकी? How is woman related to man? She is the mother of the father of my wife's only son. So the man has a wife, and then they have a son. So this is done. She is the mother. So this one is the mother of the father of my, no, she's the mother of the father. Sorry, she's the mother of the father. So his
The
mother.
woman in photograph is the mother of the man.
Yes. Yes. She's the mother not of the wife or of the son, but of the man. So then that woman is the man's mother.
मैम ये
Okay,
हमको समझ नहीं आया.
Okay, we usually will take it step by step. Something that is very comprehensible is that my wife, the man's wife's only son. So let's quickly represent that. The man has a wife and they have a son. Done? Now she is the mother. The woman in the picture is the mother of the father of my wife's only son. यानी इसकी मम्मी. Right?
Ma'am,
If you read it also.
Answer है.
Confusing?
Ma'am, answer mother है.
Yeah, answer indeed mother hai. Right? Mother of the father of my wife's only son. मेरी वाइफ का बेटा मेरा भी तो बेटा हुआ और वो उसकी फादर की मम्मी है यानी मेरी मम्मी है. आई एम द फादर, राइट? आई एम द वन पॉइंटिंग टू द पिक्चर. तो इसकी दादी और मेरी मम्मी. सो now the relation is as between the man and the woman. So it should be mother. Now when it comes to the son has an aunt. So how will you make the aunt? This is how you will make an aunt, right? Then there is a grandparent. Now the grandparent could be this or also this. So they will have to specify, okay, if it is a maternal or a paternal grandparent. If it is not specified, then you draw both of them and you give it combination, okay? Okay, if it only says grandparent, then A and B, two possibilities. Then they will probably give a hint, okay, then that this person has like, that the grandparent has only one child. Therefore, they're talking about the Nana, not the Dada, because Dada has two children. So you will go for this grandparent. Right, so permutation and combinations are possible here also. So you draw all the possibilities and then you eliminate the more data you keep getting. Okay, moving on to the next one. Directions. This is clear, right? Basic theory, basic representation of the gender and relations.
Ma'am, please repeat once.
Which what?
Ma'am, this question.
This question again?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, a question like this is very confusing given it has a lot of elements. She's the mother of the father of my only wife's only son. So I will draw the one that is very easy and obvious to decipher. My wife's only son. So my wife, only son, therefore my son also. So father of my son is me. My wife and my only son is literally the same guy, right? And she's the mother. The woman in the photograph that this guy is pointing to is the mother of the father of the son. So इसकी मम्मी हुई, हाँ कि ना? The woman in the photograph. So the lady is the mother. Now, what is confusing here is maybe the mother, father, all of that. So you pick the obvious elements out here, like this is confusing in the first glance, but this part is easier. So you draw this first, and then you draw this. Now here, there's no chronology possible. It's no fixed chronology. Given that this is a diagram question, you can go reverse also. It is completely fine. You will have to solve more questions. I mean, these are not enough. We are just doing 2 questions of each topic, especially people who are doing it for the first time. These are not at all enough. You need to do a lot more questions to get to gain confidence and speed and accuracy in analytical reasoning. Chalo, directions. I personally don't like this. Rahul walked 10 meters south, turned right, walked 8 meters east. It's very confusing, but it's actually very easy also if you just know your compass. Okay, what is a compass? Where I'm sitting right now, where you are sitting right now, in front of you is which direction?
North.
Yes. Right? You can always consider India ke states. Put yourself in Madhya Pradesh, ऊपर north, कश्मीर में north, हमारे नीचे south, right? Then, now this is where I've seen students get confused. Where is west? Where is east?
Ma'am,
Consider
east में West Bengal है. Is the easiest approach.
Absolutely. And where is West Bengal? Closer to Assam, closer to Myanmar here. So this is east. सूरज भी यहीं से उगता है. And this is west. Now there's some more. There's northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest. बस इतना याद करना है. फिर इसमें थोड़ा राइट लेफ्ट भी आ जाता है. So with for right left, you just have to turn yourself and then check. I'll show you. Okay, these are you will put yourself in the center. The person who is walking 10 meters, 100 meters is going to be in the center. This is where you will begin your question, and then you'll make him walk wherever he's walking. Keep yourself in the person's place, and then the right and left is going to be easier. Let's take up this question. Yes, Garima.
मैम इसमें ना एक बार को अगर डायरेक्शन में मेरे को पसंद नहीं है, लेकिन जब इसमें वो आ जाता है ना कि डिग्री, इतने डिग्री इसने टर्न लिया, इतने डिग्री वो घूमा, वहां मैम मेरे बहुत गलत हो जाते हैं. वैसे नॉर्मल डायरेक्शन हो तो फिर भी कई बार सही हो जाता है, बट जब नंबर आ जाते हैं तब मेरे को बहुत दिक्कत होती है.
60 degrees, 70 degrees, all of that, 180 degree. Mostly it is 180 degree, 360 degree. तो फिर उधर पूरा फिर राइट एंड लेफ्ट कॉन्सेप्ट पे ही आता है. अगर वो 180 डिग्री घूमा है या
मैम कई बार ना बहुत गंदे गंदे न्यूमेरिकल आते हैं, आइडिया भी नहीं लगता कि वो कितना घूम रहा होगा. वो बहुत गड़बड़.
That makes sense. I think this would help. So, I mean, you've all used like a compass. You know that 180 degree, if he has turned 180 degree from west, he has gone to east. If he has turned 180 degree from northwest, he's gone to southeast, right? If he has turned 360 degrees, he's obviously in the same place. Then 180, so this is 60, 60, 60. No, how much is this? From north to northeast, kitna hua angle? 1, 2, 3, 4. 180 divided by 4.
मैम नॉर्थ से नॉर्थ ईस्ट 45 डिग्री.
मैम
45 डिग्री से वैसे होगा ना.
360 डिवाइड बाय 4 नहीं होगा.
360 क्यों? हाँ, अगर नॉर्थ टू वेस्ट आया तो 360 डिवाइडेड बाय 4, तो फिर कितना डिग्री हुआ? यहाँ से यहाँ आया तो 60.
मैम नॉर्थ से वेस्ट तो 90
नॉर्थ टू वेस्ट 90
90
और उसका हाफ 45 हो जाएगा.
हाँ, ये सही है, ये अच्छा तरीका है याद रखने का। उसका हाफ 45 हो जाएगा।
90 + 90 + 9।
तो अगर नॉर्थ से 90 डिग्री घूमा है राइट की तरफ, अब वो राइट लेफ्ट भी देख लेते हैं। राइट की तरफ घूमा है तो कितना 90, कितना वो, बट नाउ यू नो द एंगल्स एटलीस्ट, कितना कितना एंगल्स है। सो जस्ट
Ma'am, the
ड्रॉ।
confusion is between if it is to turn left or right, like from which hand placement we have to do.
अगर वो नॉर्थ से 45 डिग्रीज लेफ्ट घुमा है तो लेफ्ट,
मैम नॉर्थ वेस्ट में
वेस्ट,
वेस्ट साइड गया ना।
नॉर्थ वेस्ट गया। अगर वो नॉर्थ से 90 डिग्रीज लेफ्ट घुमा है तो फिर वो कहाँ गया?
वेस्ट
वेस्ट।
राइट। अगर वो नॉर्थ से 20 डिग्रीज घुमा है तो वो कहाँ गया?
मैम वो नॉर्थ में ही है।
नॉर्थ वेस्ट में गया ना थोड़ा।
मैम डायरेक्शन स्पेसिफाई नहीं की
नॉर्थ
थी
में ही
ना।
आना जाएगा मगर
नॉर्थ तो फिर एग्जैक्ट, अगर नॉर्थ से 360 डिग्रीज घुमा तो फिर नॉर्थ में आया, बट नॉर्थ से वो वेस्ट की डायरेक्शन में गया ना 20 डिग्री, तो फिर वो नॉर्थ वेस्ट में है। आगे ना, तो एनीथिंग बिटवीन 45 डिग्रीज, even if it's 35, 39, 42, it is northwest. More than 45 degrees is also northwest, right? And then more than 9 and exactly 90 degrees is going to be west. So this gray area also is something that we'll have to calculate. I mean, numbers come in here. A man goes 4 meters towards east. So I'm going to put him in the center, and then I'm going to take him 4 meters towards east. I think I have it here. Yeah, this guy is here. Let's take him 4 meters towards east. Took him right here. Then which direction he's facing? He's facing like this, right? Turns right. So B से right पे घूमेगा तो फिर वो किधर जाने वाला है? His head is facing east. East से right लिया तो कहाँ पहुंचे?
साउथ।
ठीक है, 3 मीटर साउथ। अब मुझे क्या निकालना है? डिस्टेंस बिटवीन ए एंड सी। कैसे निकालेंगे? See, this is a right angle. So this is the right angle triangle, and I have to find the hypotenuse. What is the formula? A square plus B square is equals to C square. So A plus B, oh, sorry, AB ka square, BC ka square. I'll get my distance here. So 4 square plus 3 square, 16 plus 9, 25 under root
5 meters.
right? So this distance thing is also where you can you will probably have to use formula. They could use different figures. Now they could have given you a rectangle and then asked you the diagonal of it. They could have given you a square and then asked you the diagonal of it. और rectangle का breadth पूछा जा सकता था, length पूछी जा सकती थी. So those basic formulas you'll have to learn. Okay, length and breadth and all shape का formula. Try this one. Okay, a man moves 5 meters west, turns right 10 meters, again turns right 10 meters. In which direction is he right now? Is he with reference to the starting point? No calculation, just tell me in which direction is he.
मैम नॉर्थ ईस्ट।
East, exact east. No.
A man moves 5 meters west. Let's take him 5
East,
meters.
ma'am.
मैम 5
हेलो
मीटर
मैम।
ज्यादा है ना वो, क्योंकि पहले वो 5 मीटर वेस्ट गया था ना इसलिए।
It's not exactly there. Like
मैम अगर यहाँ पे कहीं लिखा होगा टर्न्स राइट टर्न्स लेफ्ट तो विल टेक इट कि वो 90 डिग्री पूरा टर्न किया, राइट?
correct, unless they haven't given or specified a degree. Yeah, you
और
have to
मैम
take
अगर
90
वो
degrees.
राइट लेफ्ट के जगह पीछे बोले या फिर कहीं और बोले तो 180 डिग्री, मतलब पीछे की तरफ
हाँ,
सीधा जा रहा है।
obviously correct. Forward backward बोलेगे तो
Thank you,
फिर
ma'am.
180 degree. Here the man has moved A to B west. Now he's facing this side and he's turning right. So where is he going?
नॉर्थ।
He's going to north, 10 meters north. Then now he's again facing north and turning right here. Now I have to tell the difference between this point and this point. Which direction is he right now? So
Ma'am,
he is in,
northeast.
yes, he is indeed in the north, but
Northeast.
he's in the northeast side.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So again, here no calculation was required. So this type of question is easy. With a simple compass, it could be solved. I think, I mean,
मैम बट अगर ऑप्शंस में सिर्फ नॉर्थ वेस्ट ईस्ट साउथ ऐसे ही दिया रहेगा तो ईस्ट आएगा ना, अगर नॉर्थ ईस्ट नहीं दिया हुआ होगा तो।
नहीं तो फिर नॉर्थ आएगा।
I mean, मैम अगर रेफरेंस टू स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट बोल रहे हैं तो ऑलवेज लाइक वो जो सब डायरेक्शन है वो भी देंगे। अगर लाइक रेफरेंस नहीं रहता स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट से, अगर बोलता बस वो किस साइड फेस करके हैं अभी, तो इट वुड हैव बीन ईस्ट।
Okay, if he's facing which side, then he's facing the east direction, correct?
Yeah. Abhi now he's standing facing the east direction.
Yeah, but he's in the northern part, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they will give you this sub-directions also. Otherwise, the question is going to be too easy, which I don't think you can expect from AILET. Okay, easy question again. Again, depends on how many numbers and how many directions, how many turns. If they're giving you degrees, is it very complicated? Okay, how much time do you have left on your hand? How good and how fast you are with numbers? All of this combined will help you make a judgment that should you solve a question like this or not. Then sitting arrangements.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Bolo, bolo.
Ma'am, I just want to ask one thing that will this class be uploaded on YT?
I mean, yeah, it is being recorded.
So till when it will be uploaded?
I'm not sure, dear. You can ask Miss Vaishnavi, ma'am. I think she'll help you out. Huh?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Let's take up sitting arrangements. After this, we'll go on. Now, there are two sitting arrangements. Either they are sitting left, right, or they are sitting in anti-clockwise or clockwise. So there are two arrangements, linear and circular. Circular is relatively easier because there are no fixed shape. There's no fixed position. If E is opposite of Q, E could be opposite of Q horizontally, vertically, diagonally also. It doesn't matter. It won't change things. In linear, it is a little tricky. Okay. In a class, there are 5 students, A, B, C, D, and E, who sit on one bench. Now they will give you conditions. As per this, I have to make a seating arrangement. Once the seating arrangement is made, then I will solve the questions. They have given some questions also. So how will I make the arrangement? First, there are 5 people. Let me quickly make or bring chairs for them.
One of them would be in the center, definitely.
Yes, one of them has to be in the center, but they have not given in the condition. What they have given is B and D are close friends and they will have to sit together, but not at corners. E and C are far as possible. A is the friend of C and sits to the right of C and to the immediate left of B. Now, third one gives me a little more hint. So let me try making that. A is the friend of C and sits to the right of C. C and A, and to the immediate left of B. So B should be here. Right? Yep. But B cannot be in the corner. So B has to be here. But if B is here, then D is going to be here because B and D goes together. Remember? And D can't be in
Ma'am,
the
B
corner.
is on the third
Ma'am,
spot.
B is in the
because
middle.
A is on the
B is
left
in
of
the middle.
B, na? So that.
Yes.
Ma'am, it should be CABD.
Excellent. Right. I was trying to confuse you guys, but yeah. B, D are going to be together now, not in the corners. A के immediate left में है C. So A is here, and then what E and C are as far as possible? Yes, they are. Now, it's easier. Once you've drawn the diagram, it's very easy to answer the questions. Who sits in the middle? B.
B.
The corners of the bench are occupied by?
C and E.
C and
and C. Which of the following is the correct position of D? Number?
Fourth.
Oh, they've given you option instead of numbers. Which option?
Immediate left of E.
Immediate left of E.
Option
3, ma'am.
Okay, same in circular. Okay, clockwise is the left movement. So if they're going left, you go clockwise. If they're going clockwise, you go left. Right is anti-clockwise. And if they've not given any direction, then assume the person is facing center. Means no specific direction. So 8 friends are sitting in a circle facing center. Now first you just draw the circle. इसके अलावा और बनेगा ही नहीं. 8 लोगों को बिठाना है मुझे. Even number, I have.
Ma'am,
This is how I
then
made
hand
them.
placement in this case for sitting arrangement will be opposite to that of we have studied in direction, isn't it?
Okay, can you repeat?
Ma'am, so the hand placement we do for the question solving, that will be exactly and the stark contrast of what we have learned in direction, isn't it?
Right, like in circular arrangement, there is no fixed position, right? Unless directions where there's fixed here, it doesn't matter north, south, east, who is sitting opposite to whom. So if you see like the statement 1, T sits opposite to P. Now you can put T and P here. You can put T and P here. You can put T and P here. You can put P and TSA. Like it makes no difference. It's a circle. So yeah, when it comes to that case, the two are different. Here you have liberty. So if T is sitting opposite to P, let me put them opposite. Now Q is sitting to the immediate left of T. कहाँ बिठाऊं Q को? इस पे बिठाऊं 8 पे या 2 पे?
8
Now,
पे.
वो नॉर्थ में है, हाँ. अभी इधर मैंने उसे नॉर्थ में डाल
मैम
दिया.
2 पे क्योंकि उसका लेफ्ट हमारा राइट होगा.
Correct. Who sits to the immediate left of W? T sits
मैम टी
immediate
के
left of
रिगार्ड्स
W.
में बेसिकली
S sits to the immediate right of T. किधर? 4 या 6? हम लोग साउथ ही अभी फेस कर रहे हैं, तो हमारा राइट हुआ 4 and to the immediate left of B. Now S is sitting to the immediate left of B. C, S sits to the immediate right of P and to the immediate left of B. Then R never sits opposite to Q. So where does R sit?
7.
That leaves us with U.
U.
And we've placed them. Now answer the questions. Who sits between S and Q?
V.
V.
Who sits opposite to Q?
U.
U.
Okay, that's it. I think we
मैम
have
अगर हम लोग टी और पी के पोजीशन को उल्टा कर दे तब तो बनाना थोड़ा मुश्किल हो सकता है.
T और P नहीं. It's going to be the same.
नहीं मैम, फिर टी जो है वो डब्ल्यू के लेफ्ट में कैसे हो पाएगा? एक बार आप चेक करिए ना.
तो W बैठा होगा 4 पे एंड T बैठा होगा 5 पे, तो मतलब W लेफ्ट में हो जाएगा.
Correct. But they haven't really asked us the
W
number.
के लेफ्ट में T होगा. Yeah.
See, have they asked us the numbers? Q is sitting on 2, B is sitting on 3. Have they asked us? No. They've only asked who is sitting between whom. And even if you switch or flip, even you put T and T diagonally opposite, the right and left remains the same. कि मेरे उसके T के बाजू में कौन है, left में कौन है. You have to take in the left-right consideration, considering which direction, but that remains the same. So these are the types of questions you'll get in circular arrangement. In linear arrangement, you will get numerical question like this, right? Which position was he sitting in, right? Number 4, number 3. So here that type of question could be asked, but in circular, even if we flip, it's going to be similar. like people sitting between the two people will be same.
मैम आप एक बार प्लीज ये वाला अरेंजमेंट बना सकते हैं?
मैम मैंने ये वाला ड्रॉ किया जस्ट अपोजिट में और आंसर सेम ही आ रहे हैं।
Say that again. अभी मैंने
जो आपने इसमें मैम फिगर मतलब पोजीशंस जो P एंड T की है ना, मैंने अपोजिट बनाया था जब मैं क्वेश्चन ट्राई कर रही थी, तो
फिर
मैम आंसर सही आ रहा है, मतलब वही है जो आंसर आपके डायग्राम
obviously
से आ रहे हैं उसी से ही आएगा।
yes, it's going to be same. Circle has no sides, so it's not really going to change things, and the left and right remains the same. So that should not be a point of confusion or consideration. ठीक है, चले फिर. Should we take a break?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, could you explain one more example of the circular arrangement?
I
Like,
don't have it here in the presentation. Let me put it in the presentation and
Ma'am,
let
what
me
about
arrange.
calendars?
Clocks and calendars, I don't have it right now. I probably do not have the skill set to take up clocks and calendars, given that it's very complicated mathematics. So I would ask you to resort to a quant teacher for assistance there. Or I can share theory if you guys only need revision, I can share the theory. But that is like, I mean, at least for my ability, it's a little complicated for me to teach you guys. So let me take it up. I can share the theory, basic formulas and stuff. Let me take it up. If I can simplify it, I'll just make a quick recording maybe and then share it with you guys on your WhatsApp group. Something like that.
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
है ना? Clocks and calendars, if it is complicated, how many questions does AILET ask for clocks and calendars? Is it a common one?
No, ma'am.
मैं पहली बार दूंगा मैम, नहीं पता
अब
मैम
तक
So,
तो
but
मुश्किल से 2 या
after
3
like
ही क्वेश्चन आए होंगे
yeah,
जितना मैंने
but
देखा
calendar
है।
वाला is like a little tough. वो अगर डेट का दे देता है तो थोड़ा दिक्कत होता है.
Calendars में फिर we'll have to take up leap year and all of those. It'll get
Yeah,
a
I
little
mean
complex.
ऐसे रैंडम बोल देता है कि ऐसे 31 मार्च 2026 को ये डेट था तो 2027 में ये डेट क्या पड़ेगा.
Correct.
Right.
And then, there's actually some formula there. Some fractional formulas there. Hence, I have refrained from taking that up. But if I can, I will take it up. Otherwise, I'll
I mean,
share
if you
you
have
the
the
theory.
theory अगर आप दे देते हैं तो like we can at
I
least
will. Theory I will share. I have it. ठीक है? इसके बाद we'll meet for verbal reasoning. Course of action, cause and effect, assumption, conclusion, strengthening, weakening, all of those basic things that you've already done in class. I'll take a one example where I'll explain and then we'll make that class more collaborative. So there you guys can take some time to solve and put in your answers. Cool?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, please practice it.
Say that again.
Practice sheet, please, ma'am. वो भी है ना provide करवा दीजिएगा.
Right. I think you will be given practice sheet. Sarah, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, let us take up your question.
Yes, ma'am. I'll type it.
I think I can access it. All laptops are computers, na?
Ma'am?
The one that you've put, all laptops are computers, some computers are useful. This is from the CLAT paper.
AILET, ma'am.
AILET paper, past year.
2022.
What is your answer here?
I was confused, is it D or like none of the above, but the answer key it was given as A.
Okay. All laptops are computers. Some computers are useful. So U1, U2, everything that is useful is precious. So all of useful is going to be inside precious. Right? Everything that is useful is precious. Now, which of the following statements necessary follow? All precious objects are useful.
Ma'am, it could be D. X is useful laptop. It must be precious.
Okay, it's not A. All precious objects are useful. No. All useful objects are precious. But see, there are some precious that are not useful in both the cases. So A does not follow. If X is useful, it must be a laptop. No. See, there is only one, only here they are connecting. In U1, it's not connecting. So B, A is definitely not follows. B is a possibility, but they have given a definite language. So B also is not my answer. C, X must be precious. Is that incomplete? Oh, X is a computer. X must be precious? Yes. If X is a computer, then it has to be precious. Because
Ma'am,
in
but how
all
can
the...
we draw this conclusion? Like here it is written, some computers are useful. It could be that the computer or the laptop we're talking about isn't useful and it cannot be precious then. So
Correct.
most
X could be
probably,
here, is what you're saying?
yes, most
Yeah.
probably it would be D, I guess.
Yeah, you're right. X could be outside of these as well. And then one could be in the intersection, X2. Then, so therefore, C is also a possibility, not a definite outcome. X is a useful laptop, then it must be precious. If X is a useful laptop, so if X is a laptop, then it must be precious. Not necessarily again. What is the answer for this question?
Ma'am, it was given as A, but the diagram was like useful was in the outer one and the precious one was inside. It was like all precious or useful. That is how they have drawn the diagram. They have given the answer as A.
Everything that is useful is precious. Which one should be the bigger circle?
It should be P, ma'am, but in the answer key it was given as
The
U,
inverse.
so that was confused.
So everything that is precious is useful. ये तो उल्टा है. Everything that is useful is precious. It should be like this. P should be the outer circle. Okay, let me take a photo of this question and solve it while you guys go. Okay, I'll solve this one. You guys go have your lunch. Okay, let's discuss it after the second class.
Yes, ma'am.
मैम all laptops are computers बोला है तो like laptops are computers are equal तो some computers are useful होने से तो some laptops are भी useful होगा.
नहीं
So it
मैम
should
ऐसा
be
कैसे होगा?
X is a useful laptop and laptops are computers. Then it must, but precious और laptop का जो intersection है वो possibility है.
I mean then तो some laptops and computers are precious. That is the conclusion we can come.
Correct, but
Because-
precious and computer का
Because ma'am,
possibility नहीं है ना.
laptop equals to computer and useful equal to precious and both of them are merging at a single point like वो sum वाला बात. So it's like half एक जगह पे intersect हो रहा है. So that is the only part of the probability जहाँ वो दोनों equals match करे like A and B equal to C and D.
So it should be D then.
Yeah, I think so.
The answer. Yeah. No, it makes sense because computer and precious are intersecting. So,
yeah, so if
laptop
X is a useful laptop, then it must be precious.
Yeah. Yeah, the answer for this should be D. I'll just redraw the diagram accordingly then.
मैम नेक्स्ट क्लास कितने बजे से होगी?
4 बजे जल्दी जाओ. You guys